done.
Hey.
Yep. Okay. Um, yeah, I guess we're recapping, right?
Yeah.
Need a notebook. Oh God, what is the important stuff? We sent word to Ronir about showing up with the castle, and um, eventually, after some shenanigans, we got that belt back off of Rayla. Thank God, because we did not. Two of us, Rosalind and Esther, did not think through what a pixie with giant strength could do.
With that pixie. With
Oh,
giant
shit.
strength.
Yeet! Sorry, I'm...
Yeah, this is what happens when you have a couple of characters with a high intelligence but only moderate wisdom, probably.
Well, I think Xenia has decent.
Xenia
Both
wasn't involved
classes.
in that.
What? I wasn't involved. I was taking part of fucking
Yeah.
dragon.
Oh,
Xenia was
okay.
busy. This was
Yep,
Rosalind
that's right,
and
that's
Esther
right.
being dumb.
Yeah, it was just them. You're right.
Yes.
I legitimately said mind your own business at one point.
It was Rosalind and Esther's fault.
Oh, yes, average wisdom. Woo! Good life decisions. Anyway, we got ready to return to Citadel, met the Archdruid at the castle, he brought the Inquisitor and Rosé, and they met the Monarch, or at least he and the Inquisitor did. The name of the legend called Jack was actually Jack Rarim. We talked about a potential deal with the Archdruid about keeping a research team and taking up some residents and soldiers and stuff, and eventually the party kind of decided against that. It was a little too questionable a deal, perhaps, given the Archdruid and Druid Society and all that. We're gonna look other ways first. We learned a little bit about Ragnar of the Tooth of Ragnar, the last dragon in the Dragon Giant War. She pretty much ended it by laying down, and willingly dying for the sake of peace. Therefore, she is a symbol of that. The three-lined slash we saw in the crystal and in the door, and which apparently is somewhere in the Tooth of Ragnar, is the mark of Umara, also a symbol of this piece. Yeah, by the way, Aquarius, preferring peace, having a base in the body of a dragon who died for peace that's symbolism. And we kidnapped her out of it. Hopefully that's not symbolism either. Anyhow, the birds found a clutch of dragon eggs and one captured dragon in a cage. 3 of the party went to talk with the latter, made a deal about 3 days for us to consider setting him free or not, and he'll stop trying to get out in that time. That's gonna be a thing. Anyhow, from the Monarch's understanding of magic in the planes, the material plane is at the center, and any magic can pull on any of the planes, or not any of them. There's kind of a domino effect, potentially. But she doesn't think humanoids can pull planes with that kind of power. 300 years isn't much on that scale, but then, Devin Ashta, someone pointed out, maybe a centimeter isn't much on a cosmic scale, but is enough to cause chaos. We don't know. So we can't really rule anything out yet. We're getting a lot of various opinions on that.
Also, we don't know if the amount that's kind of understood by... We don't know that the amount being used by society as a whole is...
understood by the Monarch.
Yes. Yeah. Or if there is some source that no one is aware of that is doing a lot of magic.
Yep. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. We turned down the Archdruid deal, saying we needed to scout the island better first, see about other sources, make sure it's safe, etc. It's still technically true. We do need to do all that before we start taking on innocent families and non-combatants and so on and so forth. Prince Ronir and his sister showed up with a Pegasus. He'd like to have some diplomats of dwarves, if possible, on the island with us. More like an embassy than diplomats. That's a possibility, seeing as then they'd be able to kind of be more of a bridge between the dwarves of this culture and society that our soldiers come from, and us and all that. We're gonna get soldiers working on housing, maybe bringing a few of their very, very immediate families on there as a start, like spouses and unmarried children, potentially, and only if they really want to. The general recommends going to Isol, many are Akakra, who have lost homes due to some sinkholes, but it does have a high crime rate, so that would be something to weed through. And Rosé is staying with us now, and she's all excited about us. She's there to operate the stone lifts we've been granted for moving people onto and off of the island, though we do have teleporting birds as a secondary option as well. As well, after session, but kind of in between sessions, Rosalind took off and did a ritual to get in contact with her patron right away. It would have taken her 11 minutes. I did not, in hindsight, roll any kind of stealth, so I don't know how obvious it was that she slipped off. It would have been in the middle of Rosé being distracting, so I don't know. I don't know about that. Basically, I have, however, the questions and answers already passed between Conrad and me between sessions, so she managed, presumably. That's probably where we're picking up, I'm guessing.
Dev, actually, just real quick, make a quick perception to generally aware of that fact.
Sure, at this point it's more to see how quickly you notice it, but go ahead.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Can I use
should've.
passive for that one?
Sure.
Okay, so 18 for that.
Alright, so you both notice within 3 or 4 minutes that just Rosalind's kind of slipped off and hasn't come back immediately. Which, considering all the major players have left, isn't wild, but it is enough to be concerned she didn't mention anything. And when you guys do eventually find her, she is midway through a ritual that you don't recognize, but do recognize as ritual.
Ash will just kind of stand in the doorway. Also, does anyone else not see Ty's roll?
I don't.
Ty's was passive.
Yeah, he's passive.
Oh, okay. Sorry, never mind.
No worries.
She completes her
Ash will
ritual.
just kind of, sit there, wait in the doorway.
Xenia will go and sit against the wall. Just watching for a bit.
Alright. You do see after about 10 to 11 minutes go by, which, again, both of you recognize approximately the length of a ritual spell. That seems to be like a strange red smoke coming off of her shoulders and like off her hair. And while she sits there kind of contemplating, her eyes open, and you may not be able to see it because she's facing the other direction, but it looks like she's speaking with something, but no words are being spoken that you can hear. And Rosalind, you ask your 5 questions.
And I got my 5 answers. I have them written down.
Alright.
So presumably she blinks out of it and is no longer alone in the room.
Ash might be, like, if he sees, like, more, I guess, conscious movement, he just might walk over slightly and just kind of, you there?
Oh. You, yes, how long were you here? I thought you'd be busy for a while.
10 minutes? 10 minutes or so?
More importantly, how long have you been here? We lost track of you.
Perhaps 15 minutes if it took 11 to cast this and I didn't see you when I started?
And he kind of, like, tilts his head and just, any particular reason you went off without saying anything?
Well, I didn't see the sense in bothering anybody with this.
There's this, like, blank look on his face.
It wouldn't be a bother, but what kind of spell was it, if you don't mind?
It was something my patron taught me. A long time ago. I've never used it until now. A way to get in contact, since I failed to contact him last night and wanted answers to a few things.
Nice way to expediency. Did you get the answers you wanted? The ones you needed?
A mixed bag? It's more... One thing was confirmed, and several others are still question marks, unfortunately.
Ashley kind of like puts a hand out to help Rosalind up, basically. And so, what exactly did you get a confirmation on?
It is Sagittarius attacking the Goblinoid army. So we can be certain of that, at least.
Well,
That's good confirmation, at least. We're not straying away from a goal
Hmm.
or a concern.
My patron does not know of anyone knowing where Aquarius currently is, but their knowledge isn't limitless. And they do not know the locations of Bo or what was created in the astral plane.
his face kind of scrunches up a bit.
I thought I'd better ask, just in case.
No, it's
It's a
good
dead
thing
end.
to ask.
Well, that's about it.
Any others? Or is that all you got?
A couple, but not very clear, and they were more for curiosity's sake than anything really vital.
He just kind of shrugs and says, just, let us know if you're going somewhere.
I thought that was your rule. My rule for you, rather.
Yeah, just,
Mm.
uh,
Everyone's
don't walk off without anyone seeing you walk off. How about that?
Just message us at least, so we don't start a search party.
I don't have my phone up and running, so I can't just go and ask.
I'm sorry, I wasn't really thinking.
No, I mean, what you got out of it was worth it. Just, I'm just, whatever.
Mm.
He just shakes his head a bit.
Well, there's still more to do before the end of the day, and before we leave in the morning, and we should see about supplies, and, so many things.
It's gonna be
I'm going
gonna
to
be
go...
one hell of a shopping trip.
I'll go talk to my squads.
Yeah, may as well.
And
Yeah.
as you kind of turn the corner out there, Rosalind, you immediately bump into your blood magic squad member. She kind of looks at you and goes, "Oh, hi, I had a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, more a warning?
Oh? A warning?
Is that the GM gun?
Did we lose
Oh
him?
god.
Why?
That's the worst timing.
Isn't it always?
It's only ever the worst timing. There's never a good timing.
I have a warning. Die.
Uh-huh.
Have a warning, falls dead.
You walk into the room and see.
Uh-huh. What do we see? What do we see?
Is this the question is for like the first 2 seconds, is this for dramatic effect? And
You
then
can
after that it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, because there is like that half second where you're like, oh, he's pausing for dramatic effect. And nope, just keeps going.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
There's, like, a
dramatic
good-
effect, cool.
There's like a second where you're like, I want to say something, but if he's just pausing for really long, I don't want to be mean. It's just,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, is this dramatic effect? And you're just waiting and waiting.
someone coughs and it's like, okay, yeah, no, clearly.
Yeah.
uh,
It's like the one person whose comedic timing is just an uncomfortable amount too long.
The struggles of having a DM with a terrible internet connection.
there he goes.
Yep.
Oh, he's like offline Discord.
Wow.
That's how he said, like, earlier in the thing, like, before the recording started. Hard crashing one moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I texted him and asked him if he died.
Oh.
If there's no answer, assume for the worst.
Well, guys, thanks for coming to the session.
Well, guys, thanks for watching. Conrad fucking died.
That's the episode for today.
There probably won't be one next week.
Yeah, please don't.
No, I'm just knocking on wood for that.
Yeah. Ah. Well, this is a chance for anybody else to do, like, character stuff while Rosalind is waiting for a warning.
Hmm.
I guess Esther would just be talking with her squad. That's about it.
Makes sense. God, all I wanted to do was be like, Rosalind goes, does housekeeping stuff, send squad members back if they want to, and
No, that takes too much internet.
No. Apparently not.
Okay.
Apparently there was a warning.
Conrad sending the warning in the roll 20. He's back. Okay.
Alright. Your voice is very
Yeah, also, you
distinct.
sound very quiet, yeah.
Aww.
Were you away from your mic a bit?
Oh, I was on the phone at the same time. So
Oh, that did it. Okay.
I
Immediate
called
family,
Conrad and
but
asked
I have
him.
an adopted daughter and bring in wisdom mission odd, but she's an inventor. Rosalind will accept that because an adopted daughter is still immediate family as long as it's not adopted daughter plus adopted daughter's spouse's siblings and all their children and so on and so forth.
Yeah, she mentioned
That-
she mentioned it. Yeah, it's just her. She's just eccentric.
Listen, I'm running around with a number of people who might be considered eccentric in one way or another. And I'm not going to be the one to say that adoption discounts someone as family.
All right, I wanted to warn you guys that if you see a gnome running around who's causing fires by boots that she invented because she figured out she could cause boots to cause fires,
Fires.
don't be surprised.
If you can nudge her towards fire suppression rather than fire starting, it might be a help.
Oh, I'm sure
Asher,
she'll find the
walks
Firebirds
by and
fascinating on that count.
Asher just, like, walks by and he's like, don't let her anywhere near Esther. And continues on.
Kind of looks at you and says, "Esther is the
The one with fire on the head.
Yeah. Okay.
On
I
fire.
make no promises. That she can. She finds people who are weird too.
Conrad, let this duo happen.
Asher, like pauses and, like, turns around and he's just like, we know the feeling. And he keeps walking.
Just a fair warning: if you see a gnome, she's a bit of an issue. Don't be afraid to just smack her upside the head and be like,
I might refrain from the smacking, but Ashta's always here, I suppose.
That is what we keep around for, isn't it?
We'll keep that in mind, but thank you.
No problem. Have a good day," and she scutters off.
Yep, and just housekeeping then. Just spreading the word, getting people on, getting supplies on, getting things bought, getting things squared away.
Would Asher get an archery bonus if he was throwing a sandal at someone?
I mean, he'd get his standard archery bonus. I'd allow it.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Esther
It's a-
wants a new pair of fire shoes.
Can you stick a sandal in a crossbow?
I mean, if it's through essence, probably. Well, at that point, I think it's called a catapult.
Oh dear.
And he made one of those with the snowballs.
He did too. Anyhow. Oh, right, I almost forgot. Rosalind had that little bit of silver plant that she got in the pot last time they were in Citadel and stuff. Can she go find a place for that?
Sure. Yeah, easily enough.
Yeah.
Where would you like to find it?
Honestly, she wants
Go
to
check if there's vegetables
She-
and stuff too already.
Yeah, that's part of housekeeping. This is special.
Okay.
Honestly, it's a personal thing. For now, she might actually, to be honest, keep it in the room they're in right now. But if it starts picking up and growing, she'll happily move it to like one of the underground chambers to be taken care of with the crop stuff.
Sure.
But yeah,
And it's easy enough to either fashion or find like a pot to hold dirt.
Yep.
And
I-
just keep it somewhere.
I just got reminded of it. So yes.
Is there like, okay, so for like say like room situation and wise, are we all going to stay in one room or is there going to be individual?
Rosalind votes individual rooms eventually, but kind of all situated on the same like hallway level. For now, we're in one room. I don't know about everybody else though.
Yeah, we're basically doing like the camp around in the huge room that we happen to have sectioned off currently.
Curiosity, are there towers in this place?
Yeah, 3 of them.
Are there rooms in these towers?
Yeah, so the
We're
ones.
staying in one.
Yeah, so the ones to the west. I'll bring it back to the sheet. Oh, I brought my selfie, not you guys. Has basically the northwestern tower is a almost like a guest area that's like long dilapidated. That larger of the two is full of rooms, like easily four floors tall, and each floor has probably 3 or 4 absolutely massive rooms that you guys could take. And you guys have taken one of the basement floor, or the base floor, only for the sake of it is the most complete and not collapsing one.
Perfect.
That being said, it is also like 80 feet in any direction, that room still. So it's reasonable to assume that later on it will be renovated to be a bit more efficient.
Is there a way to get onto the roof?
Climbing.
Rosalind got onto one a while ago. The
Yep.
previous night.
So the upper floor of this tower is kind of odd. It's an open air room with like one with a roof. It's not broken. It's just open air. So there's little crenellations that's like 10 feet across along the sides that you can walk on comfortably, but it is arguably the upper floor is the top of the crenellations, or it is the floor beneath them.
Okay, Esther's gonna go exploring the roof.
Sure. Yeah, you guys have a few hours till the rest of the dwarves come back and with the supplies. So, feel free to do as you guys wish. Esther, just roll me a D100. Let's see what you find.
If it's the place Rosalind was, she finds one patch that's been cleared of all the bird poop.
Yep. But the slash before they are.
How many hours for the sake of any training? Oh god.
Let's go with 6 for this.
Okay.
So as I described, if you guys want to figure out what you're going to do with your 6 hours, please go ahead. So Sky, you do find one section cleared of bird poop, and God, there's a lot of bird poop up here. As well, you find this strange site. Not on top of one of the crenellations, but in that floor below. At one point, you spot like a clay egg that's like dappled with little like thumb-sized dents into it, like dimpled,
Okay.
sitting like in the holding portion of like a candlestick.
What? What? Okay. So an egg in a candlestick.
Yeah, and it is made of clay.
Okay, so it's not a real egg.
I mean, presumably.
Alright. She's gonna pick it up.
The moment you do, you spot Azkair, the red firebird, like sitting on top of the crenellations, looking at you intensely.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this yours?
He kind of shakes his head.
What is it? you don't mind.
He like flies down to you, and in your brain you just hear, "Egg. We found it."
Where did you find it?
Here,
Is
on
there
the candlestick.
How long ago?
16 cycles, meaning years.
So, nothing's alive inside?
Bird shrugs.
Can I roll a nature check to see if I know what the fuck this thing is?
Sure.
I'm just really confused, Conrad.
Also, give me a history check, actually.
Oh, okay.
God.
Also, Ashton.
Oh, I see the dragon chest marks. Give me a second.
Yeah, can a bonus, please.
I'll get to the dragon chest in a second. Don't worry.
It's just in this egg.
All right. So Esther, you recall like a vague legend? It's not specifically of anything here, except for it's the idea of an egg made of the earth, where it will only be complete when fire can mix with water and earth exists in the air. And it mentions an egg made of stone.
What kind of genasi was Ronir?
Ronir? Jesus Christ.
Water? What? Wait, what? What are you doing?
Genasi was Ronir?
He's water.
What kind of genasi is Aquarius?
Air.
What if they all stand around the egg?
That's a great question, isn't it?
Oh fuck, I gotta get Fritz back here! I'm gonna cheat the legend! Esther's gonna go downstairs with the egg and bring it to the fire ladybird. Just...
I said the fire ladybug, and I was like, the what now?
No, the bird, and just
The monarch.
excuse me, what is it?
She kind of looks at you and goes, "Ah, you've taken our egg."
I'm sorry, was I not supposed to touch it?
No, I'm curious as to why you've brought it to me.
I don't know what it is. And I
It's-
only rolled
A legend.
A
Well, I'm
legend.
always here for a good story.
Well, it's been a long time. I remember hearing it from the elders, but there was something about an egg from the earth, something born of stone. It would only come to fruition when earth was in the air and fire and water could mix.
You see her kind of sit back and contemplate for a moment. And she goes, "Well, Earth is in the air. And perhaps the white fire can mix with water. I've never had cause to test it."
Esther's gonna take out her water skin to Aquarius. Aquarius, pick me up. Ronir, kiss me. Tyler, that's perfect.
Or, the reverse of that, of those two names, but either way works.
For the legend.
Esther's gonna hold out her water skin and just, could you breathe onto this?
The bird kind of shrugs, and as you pour out the water into the air, it kind of breathes fire on it, and it doesn't boil, it doesn't heat up. It just kind of lands on the ground with a splash.
What about the egg?
It also lands on the egg with a splash.
Oh, does it not do anything?
Doesn't seem so.
I have to get Prince Ronir! Shit! If you think she won't do this, you're a fool.
You're just gonna take their egg.
Huh?
You're just gonna take their egg and try to figure it out?
Can I attempt some experiments to see if I can get this to hatch?
Oh, you're asking the monarch, or you're asking me?
I'm asking the monarch.
Okay. She kind of looks at us and says, I mean, do you have to take it to experiment?
It won't leave the castle grounds.
Alright, if possible, I'd appreciate that. The birds do find it a curiosity, myself included.
I would like to perform a few different tests based on the legend. You see, Genasi, we are of our element. Perhaps, if I can find an air and a water Genasi, it might work in some way.
Maybe an earth as well. Why not complete the set?
That is true. We will figure it out.
Hopefully. It has been quite some time since any progress has been made with it.
Well, I will most certainly try.
Please do. Alright. Now, hard cut to Ashton looking at the chessboard while Rosalind is like flabbergasted at some of the moves he has just made. Like at first, Rosalind, you're like, okay. It seems like either the meeting with the patron or something just has you like mildly distracted. And the second round, you're feeling a lot better, and he still just ties with you and keeps it up. And the third round, you go, okay, we're gonna get this done, and we're gonna make this good. And you play a solid round, but he just obliterates you.
Yeah, she can make no words at this point.
He's just looking like, you. I don't
The guys.
mean this in any insult to you. Did you just let me win?
I told you I never let somebody win.
No, but he's like drops the side of this.
Put this this way, I wouldn't insult you that way.
I'm just making sure because
No, you
this doesn't.
played very, very well.
It's probably a fluke. There's probably just a few moves that neither of us thought about, and he just like shrugs.
I definitely
throws his
need
hands in the air.
to get you against some new opponents. I think that you're getting too used to what I can do.
I don't know. There was a few spots in the last one where I thought I was done for, but
So did I!
he's like puts his head down. He's like, I don't. Do you know anyone else who plays?
I don't. I mean, we played with a few people, but here in this group,
Esther will play. She'll flip the board, but she'll play.
absolutely yes. Esther, do you have a moment?
You see Esther walk by, holding an egg.
Oh, you're busy. Never mind.
What are you? What are you?
Whatever. I'm a Genasi.
What are you doing
Walking.
with?
My clothes on.
What are you holding in your arms right now?
An object.
I can see that much. I'm asking for further explanation.
An interesting object.
Go on.
One that is apparently told of in legend. And I'm going to figure out how to open it.
To open it.
So, like a puzzle box.
It's more like an egg.
Like an egg?
Looks a great deal
I don't
like
know.
an egg.
Okay.
It is an
there
egg.
It's an egg. Fuck. Alright.
I like to imagine there's just a dwarf walking by a nearby hallway. I just hear, it's an egg. Just looks in there strangely and keeps walking.
There is an old legend that I can recall. I was exploring the roof, and I was climbing, and I found this egg in a candle holder. And there's an old legend about an egg born of stone that will only hatch once fire and water are able to mix, and earth is in the air. I tried a test with the monarch, because technically the castle is in the air, and she tried to breathe fire onto water, but it didn't work. So, if I can get a water genasi and an air genasi, and one of them holds me, and the other holds the hatch. And that's my plan. And she keeps walking.
Just get the Firebirds okay with it.
As long as it doesn't leave castle grounds.
Never a dull
just-
moment.
He's just like, hold on, where's the...
Where's the face palm? There it is.
resounding sound. Okay, just... I'm gonna go punch Caius, and he gets up.
Sounds good. I'm going to read enchanting books.
Good luck.
Esther's being Aquarius.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Caius,
Be
you
doing
feel
a
a
lot of
cold
good for us.
breath over your shoulder.
Oh, hey, actually, child! Oh, alright. Alright, I don't know what that was for, but I don't know, maybe it was worth it?
You need strength training, right?
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
You see Xenia cracking their knuckles like 5 feet away from Caius.
Like Xenia, 2v1.
Yes.
I don't know what I did to deserve this, but...
You gave her the belt. This is gonna be fun.
Caius didn't give her the...
What do you mean?
He's gonna like lift up their shirt a little bit and there's the belt of fire giant strength on them.
Oh boy.
Huh?
Oh boy.
Xenia,
Yeah.
roll for suplex.
Yes!
Athletics.
Caius also has
Christ.
the belt.
Caius, roll to not get suplexed.
Oh.
Alright, Ashta, roll for punch.
I was gonna say, could I have given Xenia advantage on that?
Fuck it, why not?
Fuck!
Uh,
Oh fuck, I could've done the guidance, but I already rolled it.
Unfortunately, Caius, very used to being suplexed, managed to just barely, like, wiggle out of your grip as soon as you get your arms around him, and, like, ducks past, and, again, training his head, and
Training
is
his hat.
delightful to imagine.
Get you by the knees, Ambrose!
Also, Esther would like
Alright.
to speak with Aquarius.
You, I assume, put the pot down and jump in.
Put the pot down and open it up more so.
Alright. It is opened up.
I found an egg.
She looks at you. She is also holding an egg. Looks at the egg and looks back at you. I was just gonna make lunch.
I don't think you can eat this one. Is he gone?
Is he gone?
I don't know. That was a long pause.
Yeah, I think he's gone.
Can't hear you, Conrad. Well. This is fun.
I need to ask if this can go towards Ash's agility training.
What if Esther takes a bath and Aquarius holds the egg?
What if
That's a
Ash
really
don't-
fucked up bath bomb.
I sent it to Tile already, but fine.
It's an egg.
Oh man.
Test.
Yes.
Yeah.
She just looks at the egg and looks back at you and I was gonna make lunch. Are you offering an ingredient?
I don't think you can eat this egg.
I
It's made
then
of
why
stone.
do you have it? That's not a
Because I was
dragon egg, is it?
No, I was climbing the roof and I found it, and it was sitting on top of a candlestick, and then I remembered a legend about an egg born from the earth, and it can only be, like, it'll only hatch if its earth is in the air, and fire can mix with water. So what I'm thinking is either you hold the egg, and I get held by a water genasi, or I jump in a pool and you hold the egg. Either way, I think you gotta hold the egg.
Cloud, because fire would then be inside of water while earth is in the air because it's made of earth, right?
What did you just say?
So the firebirds are fire,
Yes.
right? And it can carry the egg, which is earth.
Yes.
So if the firebird flies in the air into a cloud, which is made of water, would that work?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god! Ah! Fuck! We have to summon a bird.
You can easily summon a bird.
Esther's gonna
Yeah,
summon a
fine.
bird.
You see... Oh, shit, what's that? I know, I'm by the wrong name. Hold on.
Esther, make sure to close the thing down when she's done, right?
Which color, Conrad?
Green. Altarion. Altarion flies in, the green firebird, and looks up at you and says, yes.
Aquarius,
Oh,
real quick.
You have the egg.
The egg. Can you take this egg and fly into a cloud?
Yes. Why?
And then, because it's important. I just need you to try it, okay? And then you can fly right back. We will go up onto the roof, and then that way you can fly back and you can see where to come back. I need you to try this.
The bird narrows its eyes at you. In exchange, you give corn.
I don't know if I have corn on me, but I will give you food regardless.
Acceptable. And it flies and snatches the egg out of your hand and flies off.
Is there a window in this room?
No, there's a door. Because this
Okay.
is a summoned face.
Does Aquarius still have non-detection on her?
For the next hour or two.
Alright. Hey, you want to disguise yourself as a gnome and come up onto the roof with me to see if this works?
I mean, I don't think I can do a gnome.
A dwarf.
I don't
That
know.
works.
I can probably do a tall dwarf.
Come up on the roof. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Alright. She
Es-
goes with you.
Esther's
I assume
gonna
you pick up
grab
the face
her
and take it
hand.
with you as well.
Yes. Esther's gonna basically grab her hand and run to the top of the roof.
And it is a trek. You do have to do a bit of bouldering to get up. But you get there. And eventually
Hen?
the bird comes back holding a slightly moist, damp egg.
Did it do anything?
You see it like shake its feathers like a dog after wet. You get covered in droplets and just, you know. Ashton, roll for dropkick.
What is this? Just dexterity?
Acrobatics?
Dexterity then.
Oh.
Xenia, roll for suplex?
Oh
Okay.
dear lord.
This is for Xenia with the guidance.
Sake of the gods.
Caius, roll to survive.
So 2 athletics checks then?
Just one basically grapple check.
Alright.
So either acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
Oh god.
Jesus.
Wow!
Fuck you.
Oh yeah, I forgot he has the other belt.
Yeah, he does.
He does! I love him. My god. Caius. Fuck him up.
So Ashton, as you draw both knees up to your chest to kick out at him, he just slaps your legs out of the way and you kind of just drop. And Xenia, as you go to suplex it, you see him, he like catches your hands with his. And
Like a
you're in
midget.
like the start position where you're grappling each other's hands.
Like a midget hitting a wall. He drops.
What?
I don't know. I'm tired. Does the egg do anything?
No, it's a wet egg.
Fuck! Esther's gonna look at Aquarius and just... Okay. Next plan. I'm gonna go jump in the pool, and you're gonna hold the egg.
Do you mean the lake?
No, there's like a small pool.
Is there? Oh yeah, there is.
Mhm. Yeah, how did you forget already?
In my head, it's not called a pool. Sorry.
Okay.
Will this
The
desecrate the
fountain,
grave
sorry.
again?
Yeah.
It's not in the grave, is it?
It's in the same area.
It's in the
Is it gonna
chamber.
desecrate? Yeah,
We all jumped in to get to the treasure before.
that's true.
That's why I thought it was fine.
Try it out. Let's do it.
We don't know what's gonna come
Regardless.
out of the egg, but have fun.
It's fine! It's fine!
You know, I really should be surprised this is what D100s do anymore.
Yep.
Downstairs! To the pool! Let's go!
You go to the pool, do you jump in holding the egg?
Yes.
Roll for swan dive.
What do I
Athletics?
roll?
With egg.
Acrobatics?
Acrobatics, definitely.
Acrobatics.
Wait, why am I rolling acrobatics? I just jump in.
I'm just curious how well you jump.
Like a god.
You
I'm
jump in like
getting-
a 6-year-old into a pool.
Whee! Splush.
Esther's now
There's a
again
splash.
in her underwear.
Roll for acrobatics just for the sake of holding a clay egg underwater. And like keeping a grip on it.
How
No, she
heavy
wouldn't
is the
hold
egg?
it underwater. She'd have
I
it
mean,
like
you have to
in
hold
her...
the
Yeah,
yeah,
wait.
you have to like hold the egg.
Wasn't your plan to have
Doesn't-
Aquarius hold the egg?
Yeah,
Air?
that was my plan.
You said you jump in the pool.
Yeah, I don't want to hold the egg.
Oh, okay.
He
Sorry.
asked if you were going in with the egg, and you said
oh, I'm
yes.
sorry. I got confused. I
Me
meant
too.
Okay.
Aquarius to hold the egg. Aquarius is holding the egg. Esther is now in her
Aquarius is
underwear
holding
again in
the
the
egg.
pool. Esther's
Esther is
in
in
her,
the pool.
in her boxers and sports bra yet again.
Aquarius is not surprised and is holding an egg.
Esther's gonna surface. Her hair is now not on fire. Did it work?
You thought jumping in the pool would work?
I don't know. Fire is inside of water and earth is in the air.
Or-
Do you know anything about this legend?
He just liked it.
Yeah.
I
That's
just
us?
want the
There,
egg
yes.
to fucking hatch.
Esther, dear, we have to. You have soldiers under your command.
Yes.
Do you know what they're doing right now?
Yes.
What are they doing right now?
I believe they went out on a scouting mission.
Ah. And you are bathing with an egg?
I just want to see if it hatches. It's an egg.
It is.
I wanna open the egg.
You could potentially open the egg. This may require further research and experimentation.
Okay. And she'll get out of the pool and dry off and put on the dress again.
Like a furnace.
Literally like a furnace. The water evaporates.
She kind of gives you a hug and says, I don't mean to, kill your vibe, but there are things that need to get done.
I know. I was just really excited to see if the egg would work.
That's fair. I'm sure if it works, the Firebirds will be excited too.
Yeah, I really hope so. It'd be nice if it hatched. It's been sitting up there apparently for 16 years.
Ah! Like, sitting like a rock.
Pretty much.
Eggs take time to hatch. Maybe just a Firebird needs to sit on it, that's all.
Maybe.
I'm sure
see.
their rears are warm.
I didn't need to think about that, but thank you.
She kind of shrugs and gives you a hug and points at the vase and says, I should probably get back in soon.
I think that's probably for the best.
Alright. She hands you the egg and climbs back in the vase.
Oh, no, before you go,
Yes?
you said I'd get a kiss.
She climbs back into the vase.
Hey! What the Now that's just mean, going back on your promises. She'll pick up the vase and then go see whatever Ashta, Xenia, and Caius have gotten themselves into.
Conrad, if you're speaking, we can't hear you. I see a
And-
green circle.
Uh-oh.
Was that? Nope, that was John.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this fucking egg to happen.
Yeah, it's probably
It
gonna.
could just be a rock.
I doubt
No.
it. After all this, no. No, and it's gonna be something that is highly specific. Anyhow, apparently you round the corner to see Caius smiling, Ashta sweaty, and Xenia fuming.
Caius, what have you done?
Just doing a bit of combat training.
Why is Xenia so mad?
Suplex.
She wants to suplex me.
Oh,
Xenia's gonna
good luck with
attempt.
that.
He's gonna attempt it, just going, "They."
I should just gonna like shoulder check Caius
Oh!
to knock him off balance.
You fuck up the
You got
pronouns, you get suplexed, bitch.
Hold on. I was just giving Xenia advantage on that. Let's see.
Oh, Ashta. No.
Nope.
It's okay, it's still enough. That's a 16 on his part.
You fuck up the pronouns, you get the suplex.
You get the throwdowns.
Thank you.
He
I
arches
needed
his
that.
neck and rolls through so he doesn't get too hurt by, like, an actual...
Xenia's just gonna finish the suplex, tap his cheek.
I think
And then-
Conrad's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just going off to the other side of the room, taking out their sword and starting to cast spells with the sword in hand.
Okay, so real quick, how long are we training with Caius here?
1 hour. I put 1 hour for mine.
Okay.
Esther would want to do
Yeah, I
8
go
hours.
to train with squads for 5 hours.
Rosalind, if you want to do enchanting training, Esther's open to it.
Oh, yes, she's already got her books. She's been working on this for an hour, and she plans on doing 4 more.
Esther will do 4 more with you.
Yeah, she'll help you out, and actually, Rosalind is really close to proficiency in this. I don't know if Conrad would rule there's any kind of bonus for her, you know, you learn by teaching sort of thing, or anything like that. Or if
Yeah,
you'll get a
Esther-
bonus.
Let's just wait for Conrad to get back, because I need to ask about how, if
No,
I'm
I'm
getting
here.
agility of Caius.
Oh yeah, Esther's at
Okay.
80 out of 100 too.
Okay, so, real quick in order, is there any bonus for Ash to completely destroying Rosalind in chess?
I mean, played a good game.
Okay.
Alright, and in that
Sorry, you
case,
said you get to it before. I wasn't sure if there was anything there, but okay.
Sorry about that.
Rosalind's at, once she finishes these hours, she'd be at 91. So there's not that much difference. So yeah, she will enchantment kit train with Esther for a while.
Does Esther double it?
Probably not. Rosalind isn't proficient yet.
As always, it's Esther can sacrifice some of her hours for Rosalind, but
Nah. I think we're both
Esther's-
learning.
Yeah, Esther's at 80 out of 100. She's hella close.
Me too.
So
as a
4
reminder,
hours
that means
then?
you guys can both train in your sleep at this point.
Yeah,
Right.
but I've got other things I gotta do.
All right. Everyone else good on the hours they've used?
Does
Yep.
Ash get any agility training from helping out Caius?
Do you help out for an hour? If so, then yes.
Is it 1 hour or 2 hours? Because he's doing it with Caius.
Kais is already being doubled, so I can't double both of you.
Okay.
All right.
Did Xenia get an hour of
So?
strength from that, sorry?
Sure.
Okay. Just like athletics training or suplex training.
Suplex training? Fucking sure. I'm down.
Suplex and only suplex.
Look, it is a skill that must be honed.
It's a surprise for Cam when Xenia finishes
so-
the
so-
gun.
Hey, real quick.
God.
Yes.
Can Ash just find some of the birds?
Easily.
Okay. Can he ask them how they fall? And get some
I assume
pointers?
you take Thorn with you.
I mean, they usually use their wings.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, Thorn translate.
Yeah, Rosalind will
Right.
name Thorn.
And they kind of mention it's for them they have this inconsistent relation with physics. They flap the rings more because they feel they should than because they need to. Which I didn't think would be a detail you guys figured out, but yeah, they
Okay.
mention it.
He like told us, and it's like, okay, do you
It's
flap your wings properly or just kind of wildly?
do you swing your arms when you walk properly?
There is proper form to running.
Then maybe.
Okay, and this thing is like, what does the monarch? Uh, is the monarch under the same rules or lack thereof?
Yes, the monarch is just a large firebird with lots of fang.
Is there any one of you who can't just float?
I mean, none of us have ever tried. Maybe some of the chicks.
Chicks, you said?
Okay, real quick, also, like Astra like physically flies, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because you
That
know,
your wings aren't like magically propel you, but you do need to properly fly.
Okay.
Like they're like magically strong.
Okay. Well, I'm
Yeah, I didn't think I'd have to use that note, but yeah.
fucking water everywhere, not a drop to drink.
Sorry.
Christ. Yeah, Neil just do his own freaking wing training then.
Alright. They do try to give you pointers, and Rayla does as well.
He's been working with Rayla and Thorn and Pyrrhus this whole time. I doubt there's anything else they can teach him, right?
Yeah, it's more moral support at this point.
Yeah, okay, he's not doubling it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, we had 6 hours total?
Yes, you've used one on Chess, one on Kai's.
Yep. So far.
No one's meeting any thresholds yet?
So
I'm
close.
at
Nope.
114, and I'm at.
Very
Oh, I just made
Not for a while.
I just made what is it? I can't. My eyes are terrible. I just made 80 hours on Dragon Chess. I can sleep train with it now, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to fucking polish that off.
That's fair.
It's the one I've had the longest.
Yeah, it is. Alright, so, at the end of your guys' kind of moment to relax, you get various reports from the dwarves, but most of them are handled quickly, without much difficulty. It's things like, hey, we found this really big sword. Do you guys want this for anything? No? Okay, cool, we'll turn it into weapons.
Yep.
And eventually, a rather large rock carrying roughly 30 dwarves is floated up, with Prince Ronir smiling on Pegasus' back, like alongside of it. And he goes, and you hear a distant yell of, "Permission to board, captains!"
Come on in, brother!
That's just like floats over, probably with wings in. It's like, you're fine.
And he gives you a big smile, and you can see the dwarves are, most of them are clutching at the rock as closely as they can.
Oh no, poor babies.
It seems someone has like made little handholds for them.
Oh,
Um,
Little
Giving her-
OS bars.
yeah, pretty much. It's reasonable to assume this isn't the first time someone's been nervous to be on a flying rock up a mountain.
Does it shake at all when Astra lands on it?
No, not at all. It
Okay.
is steady as. As a rock.
Flying rock.
And they land, and the dwarves file off. It's called around 30, just for easy numbers. Probably about 10 of them look to be not yet of age, and the rest are either spouses or nearing of age. That you wouldn't be able to say for sure one way or the other.
And these are the ones of our squads?
Yes.
Okay.
And as well, Prince Rainier mentions that I have a secondary, much slower one coming with the supplies you guys requested. A certain armorer seemed very excited to lend you some tools, uh, as you have brought one of his apprentices on board.
Oh boy.
And he goes, is it the one with the smith connected to his wife's apothecary?
That would be correct.
Uh,
The
He
one who
sends his regards and dares you to jump off the mountain to see if the armor protects you.
Does Rosalind hear this? Because if so, there's a "Don't you dare!"
That is a dare that you are not going to accept.
and Asher like floats back down. It's like, I don't think it counts if I don't hit the ground. The wings
Ashta
disperse.
Lightwell, you are not jumping off this mountain, so help me God.
He kind of like just blank stare. It's like, wasn't on my itinerary.
Prince Rainier walks up to you, Esther, and goes, Dear Esther, do you mind if I borrow you for a moment?
Of course, for what?
I had a question for you that I'd rather ask a bit privately.
Yes, of course.
And he kind of pulls you aside. He mentions, like, alright, I'm asking this because I trust you, but you have to promise not to tell my sister.
No worries.
I am very curious if, and I'm not going to mention names because while I may not know you deeply, I think I understand you well enough to know it would be dangerous. Is any of your friends seeing anyone?
Seeing as in
Romantically?
romantic?
Yes.
Not to my current knowledge, no.
Alright. I thank you for your time,
Might I
and we
ask?
will speak for no further of this. We will speak no further of this.
no.
And he
Might
walks
I-
off.
Oh, no, Esther follows him. Might I ask why?
You may not.
Who of my friends might you have a particular interest in?
One of them.
Male or
Only
female
one.
or other?
Oh no, that's a terrible point.
So repeat that question, Esther.
Well, if you do tell me, I might be able to provide a bit more information.
Esther, dear, while I trust you deeply, you have the tact sometimes of an Umber Hulk.
You would be very surprised how my tactfulness can change when it comes to matters of
You're right, I would be surprised.
relationships.
Uh,
Please, at least give me
Give me a
a
hinge.
hint. Oh, she wants a hint. She wants to fucking know. Is it male, female, or other?
Hint, hint. This is time for insight rolls and maybe persuasion.
Insight.
if you would like to roll their insider persuasion, that would be the time.
We tend to forget those, and this is such an opportunity for them.
I was waiting to see how good of an argument she could make. He kind of smiles to you and pats you on the shoulder and says, Dear Arm Royalty, I understand what honey words taste like.
Well, I'm not exactly royalty, but they are my friends.
They are,
I
which is why I would rather not try to stress you out about this. Don't worry, I will come up with a suitably ostentatious way to figure it out.
No, I'm just very curious.
Oh, I
Would it
know.
happen
You will
to-
find out. Don't worry.
Would it happen to be? Just please tell me if it is or not. Is it Ashta?
I am not speaking on this, Esther. I told you. And
It
he has a
is,
poker face like a god.
It is, isn't it?
If you want to roll insight, go ahead.
Yes.
It seems Esther's really drawing her own conclusions here.
Yeah, really.
She has a ship and not taking no for an answer.
The ship is flying, apparently.
Inside 18. Ooh.
Please hold while Prince on your sheet.
If you were to use this on a feign thing,
Oh yeah, advantage. Mental check. You
Fuck
could
it.
drop a feign point and roll again just to see. Let's see how.
I would rather want to do that persuasion.
Ronir could do that as well, though.
Yeah, technically he
You also
could.
can't. Yeah, I don't think you can do it on persuasion. I think it's only wisdom and intelligence too.
Is it?
I believe so.
Yes, it is. Ancient experience. As a reaction, making an ability check using either wisdom or intelligence. You do have to do it before knowing the outcome of your roll. However, you might have seen the number, but he hasn't said whether it succeeds or fails. So this would be the time while he's pulling up the sheet. If you do it.
We're resting soon, right?
Okay, we'll use a feign.
I'm gonna roll it in secret just so you don't see what kind of check it is.
Makes sense. Could be deception, could be persuasion.
Perception. No, wait, no. Dissuasion.
Oh, we love a feign point!
24!
Oh, we're gonna get
Okay,
the off
point.
the whisper chat.
Esther, I'm so sorry. It's a natural 20. Total of 28.
God damn.
Ah!
Oh fuck.
He's a prince! This is what he
I
does!
know, it makes sense. I'm laughing.
There's like he has nuclear launch codes he hasn't like shown as much inkling into.
And he looks at you and says, Esther, one generosity to another. I understand your curiosity. I spoke to my guard about the mix-up. I promise you, it's nothing like that.
No, I
Just-
never believed it to be.
Please, if this was found out, it would be quite the scandal on me. So I would like it to remain private.
Why would it be a scandal for you to have romantic interest in somebody?
Well, I'll give you the hint. The political trappings of my society are rather problematic with who we fraternize with, especially when they don't come from where I'm from.
Oh, well, none of us are from the mountains. That's not really a hint.
Well, then I will leave you the time to figure out that puzzle. But I promise you, when I do admit it, you'll be the first to know.
Okay. Just remember, you can trust me. I know I haven't met you for a very long time, but I do understand how important those feelings can be. I would never wish to share them with anybody else if you were not comfortable.
And I appreciate that, but I am unfortunately known as a bit of a... what's the common word?
Extreme
Playboy?
romantic.
Man
We have a different word for that in my language, but we'll stick with playboy.
I believe that's the right one. I may be incorrect, but for now I'll keep it to myself. Don't worry, maybe next time you see me, you'll find out. But,
Speaking of which,
yes?
could you help me with something very quickly? I need to see if something might work.
Oh, sure, but this won't change our mind.
No, it won't. It has nothing to do with that. Esther is going to take out the egg and set it on the floor, and then she's going to hold out her... Actually, no. She's going to hold the egg in one hand, and then hold out her other hand to Prince Ronir. Do you mind taking my hand for a
It
moment?
does.
Do you mind using your other hand to touch the egg?
Sure. Esther, is this some strange Jossie ritual that I'm not aware of?
No, it's not. I'm just trust me.
Alright. He puts his hand on the egg.
Does anything happen?
The egg is held.
Shit. Oh, okay. She'll let go of his hand and put away the egg. I'm sorry. I thought it might.
No, that's alright, I'm just... You know what? I won't ask questions. I hope you will do the same for me. He begins to walk off.
Understandable.
Oh.
But if you do ever need help, let's say wooing a member of my party. I think I might be a decent person to ask. I do know them fairly well.
And when I need to know what makes them tick, I will ask you.
Subtlety is key. Don't be overbearing. The last person we did to, Ashton nearly killed him.
That's understandable. I do have one question, because I believe I... Do they play... Am I good?
Yeah, you're okay.
You have one question, something, something.
Do they play board games?
Who?
They play chess, yes.
Good to know. Alright, thank you. And he walks off.
Wait a minute.
He didn't mention a name. Mario.
Yeah, okay, I just heard, do they play... I have a question, do they play board games?
That's what I said.
Okay. Alright, I thought something was missing in between.
Alright. Within about half an hour or so, the supplies arrive. And it's basically one halfling carrying, basically controlling the stone, surrounded by a ton of massive crates. And also a second one coming up that seems to be bringing up 4 or 5 sheep and a German shepherd, keeping them in line and on the stone platform. But they are dropped off in the courtyard of the castle, not in the interior, but near the front door. Or the front entrance, I guess. And left for your leisure.
Esther visibly lights up when she sees the dog.
Yep, the dog is excited to be where it is, it seems. It's pretty, probably 2 or 3 years old. Happy old shepherd.
Cute puppy friend.
But, the halfling kind of pats it on the head and scratches it. You see the dog wag its tail. Says, I call this one, Colin. He's pretty good with the sheep here. Part of, the same flock, I think. He's used to them. These ones specifically. If you keep them together, they'll keep each other safe. And, good luck with the flying fortress. And, Halgrim takes Pegasus and it stands on the,
Ronir, not Halker.
Sorry, you're right. Prince Ronir walks over the Pegasus to the, stone platform and says, I'll give this one a rest and head down with the rest of them. Well, I wish you all luck. If you need anything else, you know how to contact me. And good luck out south.
Oh my god, I can feign him.
Yes.
Oh no.
3 o'clock in the morning. So,
If you don't think she will, she will. Alistair is also now kind of hyper fixated on this egg.
I've noticed.
This is your fault. This is your fucking fault.
I need to stop believing you guys will do 100, I swear.
So I suppose right now we should probably designate the squads to go start setting up around with the livestock and all that.
It is approaching, full dark.
Yeah, so it's more
So maybe
get
start
everything
camp out.
bedded down for the morning.
Very quickly, who dropped?
John
Alright, he's back.
is back.
Very quickly, one of Rosalind's squads set up an enclosure, not like a full fence, but just enough to keep the sheep in one place for the night. There's enough grass for them to be fed, and the dog stays by the inside the enclosure with them. Seemingly very friendly as he kind of walks around, smelling them and rubbing against them. But unless you guys have anything else you want to do before the long rest, we will roll the hours. Alright, so Rosalind is heading up to watch the sunset by the crenellations where
Yeah,
you were before?
pretty much. It'll only be a little bit. She's not that tired. She's not going to fall asleep. She'll head right back down afterwards. It's just a flavor thing.
Well, it seems the whole
Yes.
party's going at this point.
Absolutely. Whole party just hangs out watching the sunset for a little bit.
And it is very peaceful.
Ash goes up and goes, I've never been here before.
It's very nice.
It's very peaceful.
It's
Is that
gorgeous.
bird poop everywhere?
Not where I
Considering-
was.
Considering this place is kind of run by birds. Makes sense.
We'll get it cleaned up eventually. A little bit
Not
at
a
a
high
time.
priority, but
Rosalind will
nice
take the
area.
time to cast another couple prestidigitations just for an immediate area.
You know, and it's
Break up
enough
the wet
to.
wipes.
It's like extreme Windex. But you do so, and it smells vaguely of rose petals, because of course it does.
Just vaguely, though. But yes, before long rest, Rosalind and Ashta have dream spells to cast. Or she has them, and he's going to do a message to Orion, and she's going to give a message to her dad.
Alright,
They're calling their parents.
basically.
Well, Rosalind's calling her parent, her dad, and Ash is just like, hey, can I borrow your phone?
Yep. She will cast a dream on Ashta.
Mine's got a
first.
virus in it.
Hey, Orion isn't on the network for the Fane anyway.
He hasn't downloaded WhatsApp yet.
Yeah.
Oh
so
my god.
Yeah.
Ashta first. So she will target Orion, put him in the trance, and then settle down not far away and put herself in the trance to contact her dad. So go ahead.
Alright. Let's start with Rosalind.
Oh, sure.
So you contact him in the dream. You see him appear like in front of you, and in this dream space, it's odd. It's there's no consistent visualization of the things around you. Your surroundings are always kind of shifting, presumably to the shape of the dreams of whoever you're casting to.
She's going to
Um,
shape the environment and create just the familiar setting of the lodge in Anther, probably the room that she typically used.
All right.
Table and chairs.
And you see your dad appear, and he looks at you and says, seems I'm in for a pleasant dream this night.
It's very kind of you to say. I
He kind of like jumps and like, oh, you can hear me.
I cast a spell.
Oh, well, nice to see you.
Yes.
How have you been?
Fairly well, actually. That's sort of what I wanted to talk to you about. My group has recently, very, very recently come into possession of a bit of real estate unclaimed by any other government or power in this world, and we were
He puts his hand up like, what?
I'm
Hold-
getting to the point.
Are you colonizing?
It's more that there is a bit of land and it is available, and we were thinking once we make sure that it is fully safe for people and we've scouted it out, made sure there aren't any threats remaining, there might be a place for at least some of those who lost homes in Peduncle to come if they haven't settled in comfortably elsewhere yet. Basically,
Oh.
if anyone in Anther doesn't want to stay there, isn't comfortable there, and would like somewhere new, somewhere where it might be difficult at first. There's no started farmland, but there is land. There are the beginnings of structures, though ruined by time and, frankly, oversized. Apparently this island used to belong to giants. And
An island, you say?
it flies.
Uh,
We're going to be...
Sorry, you said this was a spell. I'm not actually dreaming, right?
I understand it's a little difficult, and she's going to shape the area of the dream to a representation, a depiction of kind of just outside the castle, the approach up to it, just to give him a sense of scale.
He kind of looks at it and goes, you know, if you wanted a bigger room, you could have just said so, dear.
There's plenty of room. There's entirely too much room. Part of why we're thinking about this. Though Ashta has concerns about security and safety, and for some good reason. So he'd prefer that people be vetted or selected, and actually asked if Issa might be a person to do so. Someone to keep security, if she'd be interested.
Oh,
Mm.
if you have this spell, I'm sure you can ask her yourself. But I imagine she's always going to be. She's been inquiring after you, asking if I could find out where you were so she could come visit.
I could
Apparently
have.
the little one has began to walk.
I have something for him.
Do you?
I thought of using this spell, but is she still on night duty?
She is, yes.
So this might not be the best time, but perhaps in the morning?
Alright, I will let her know. To expect a dream of you. You know what, maybe I won't let her know, I'll let her kind of figure it out.
But if I were to bring up that proposition, would she have your blessing to transfer, basically?
Oh, of course, it's... I kind of wanted her to be part of your guard anyways, although Ash handled it. I'd always be more comfortable with you having added security, especially with the idea of you taking in a bunch of new people surrounding you in a place that you consider safe and home.
Yes, that is... Well, if Issa shares that view, then she and Ashta should get along very well.
I trust she'll try, although I'm not sure I've ever seen Ashton. He doesn't seem quite the get-along type with most.
You might be surprised. He is a little rough around the edges, but he's a good person underneath.
Bit of a diamond in the rough.
Perhaps. You might call him that?
Not to his face, he'd shoot me. But,
I wouldn't. He'd
I will.
grumble. He'd grumble and be grouchy about it and refuse to believe it.
That does sound like him, yes. But, that's what I tend to look for in guards anyways, so I can't complain too much.
That might actually explain a few patterns I've noticed.
Would it? I hope I'm not that transparent.
Not terribly, but in hindsight, perhaps. So,
Do you remember that guard captain when you were younger? The one who
vaguely...
you kept the one you climbed up a tree so you could watch?
Wait, that was when I was
Issa,
14? 15?
roughly, yes, and Issa had to help you get down.
Oh gods.
He was very similar to as you describe Ashton.
Oh
Glad I
gods,
wasn't.
you're right. I'd forgotten that.
Well, at least it means I picked well. I'm glad he's out there protecting you.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
He is still
I should...
in here if you would like to invite him to your castle as well.
I'm sorry, what? No. I meant to tell you something else. It has to do with Ashta obliquely. There was an incident recently, and it's... there was... I don't know exactly what happened. It's all very, very metaphysical, and the long and short of it is, there is an individual, an entity, in the world somewhere. We couldn't stop him escaping, who unfortunately, as a shapeshifter, is capable of taking on a form very similar to Ashta's. He has a few key differences. He, I believe, carried a glaive? Or I think I saw something of the sort, and had slightly longer hair, but very similar. So if somebody claiming to be Ashta, looking like Ashta, comes to you and is not in the company of myself or any of my other companions, don't trust too readily. He has many of Ashta's memories, and at least up to a point, and he would be able to act like him.
Sorry, I don't mean to make you nervous. Does he have particularly cold hands?
Yes, he does.
Oh, no.
Oh gods. What happened?
Nothing major. Issa said that she saw him. He said he was passing through some form of teleportation, that he had it figured out, that he could teleport comfortably, and I think asked Issa a couple questions, how the kid's doing, left a small gift. I thought that was the one you were mentioning.
Oh no. No, no, no. Did he give
It's
any
just-
indication where he was going?
No, after he spoke with Issa, he simply teleported off, just left a little toy horse.
Oh no.
Had wings?
I don't think it's anything harmful, but I am going to definitely talk to Issa first thing in the morning.
Please do. I'll let the other guards know just in case to keep an eye out.
Yes, thank you. Oh god. There's nothing I can do about it now, but that worries me.
Yes, I did think it a bit strange he wasn't with you, but if you guys have figured out small-scale teleportation, and his odd abilities seem to make sense with that, I suppose I didn't think it too hard.
Well, that's something.
If it helps, it seemed Issa was slightly distrustful of him. She seemed almost aware that he wasn't altogether correct.
Good. That's good. Well, at the very least, it'll potentially help if she joins us here and takes the job. In any event, I should probably go. This isn't entirely restful for me, and I should sleep soon. And I should talk to Ashta as well about this. But we'll be roughly in the area, at least south of the forest. Within a short amount of time, perhaps a few days, I'll send word again some way or another. And maybe we can visit.
I mean, I'll be happy to have you visit, but, if you have the ability to speak to me as you need to, just speak to me when you can. It's been too long.
I will try. Maybe not every night, but occasionally.
By the way, do you need more money?
No.
I'm nervous about you.
Oh goodness,
Are you
no.
sure?
Yes. This castle had a dragon's hoard on it. I think
Oh.
that we're fine.
Did you fight another dragon, dear?
I should probably go. Thank you. I love you. Have a good sleep. I'll talk to you again.
You see him put his head in his hands for a second and give you a wave as you
She gives
dissipate.
him a hug and then dissipates.
He hugs you back and just kind of sighs into your shoulder like, please be careful.
Wizam. Which is a flat out lie, but
Yeah. he doesn't even have to roll a dadly insight check for that.
Its passive dad is too good.
Yes. Alright. So, Ashta. As you appear with Orion, he kind of gives you this blank look and goes, "You the real one?"
Fuck, you found him already, huh?
He found me. Seemed to think he could lie to me better than you could.
Bastard's been busy.
The fuck
I-
is he?
I don't...
Smells like a giant.
He is, but he isn't.
Look, I get
He's-
it, you're uncomfortable at your height, man, but come on.
No! Fucking... Okay. You remember that Oni we were having trouble with before?
Yeah, the one I've been hunting.
Yep. So we caught up with him again. Tracked him to a castle over in the east. We have-
flying that way.
Well, we have the castle. It's
Hold on.
flying too.
All right. Well, explain that later.
Yes. But more importantly, I was trying to rip his head off.
Did it work?
And well, it did for a moment. He pulled me into the ethereal. I shot him in the head. He was dead. Couldn't have not been dead. And then
Hold on, okay. I had something similar happen. He didn't pull me anywhere, but I thought I killed him once and he didn't stay that way.
And
didn't-
kind of
I took a trophy. I have his nose, but it just crumbled to
Nose.
dust at one point. And apparently, he became a problem again.
Gotcha. No.
okay. Well, after I shot him, it was blurry and hazy, but I was, for intents and purposes, mentally stuck in the astral plane with him for a year.
How'd that go?
Trying to kill him only didn't really get me far.
Seems to be a running trend here.
So I had to work with him. We stumbled across some sort of something, shrine, I don't know. And there was a memory I have, it's grumbled at best. It's mixed and I don't even... Time wasn't right. But there's this thing with these giant hands and they like took us both and put them together. And back on the normal material in regular time after a bit when me and him disappeared, whatever mix between the two of us got created showed up.
That would explain it. I can see through most of the disguises, but that wasn't a disguise. That was
No,
corporeal.
he's part. Ugh. Part of him is me. I want to vomit thinking about it, but
A hate child, if you will.
he.
Yeah, I got concerned. He was wearing that ring one of your friends had. It seemed odd that you'd wear it.
Yeah, he
Not much of a
took
jewelry
that.
person.
He kind of like puts the one he has on, like puts up the one he has on. This one keeps the planes together when I do things.
That seems fucking useful. Do you have more?
No, I stumbled across it.
Where?
In the cave that the cave we met up in before.
You mean the one that we found the Oni in last time?
Yeah.
Oh, seems to have a weird thing for rings. Alright.
And I was like, what do you mean?
Well, no, I saw him wearing like that one at one point. I assumed that. Oh, well, whatever.
You saw him with one? With he points his hand, like this kind of one?
Well, something similar. I might have been mistaken, but he has to be going through the planes somehow, you know?
Oh fuck.
And we just happened to stumble across one there.
Maybe.
Hey, Hot Pot.
Does Astra remember who gave him the ring?
I believe it was Rosalind.
We
Rosalind
never
and
told
Esther,
him,
right?
did we?
No, you didn't. And I constantly said there's going to be a blowout as soon as he finds out. And you didn't tell him, and you didn't tell him, and here we are.
Which ring?
The planar one.
Yeah, the advantage on those checks to not open a portal.
That was gift wrapped by Bo, and that fact was left out by Rosalind and Esther.
Yep. Frankly, I don't remember deliberately leaving it out, but might have. I don't know.
No, you specifically deliberately left it out. You mentioned it.
Yeah, you said it because you thought Astra would be
Fair enough.
Astra about it.
Fair enough. Fun.
And he's gonna be.
Oh
so-
boy.
Anyways, he goes, okay, that's a question for later. More importantly, what was he up to there when you saw him?
Nothing major. He was kind of just said he came by to talk for a bit. That he'd had a bit of a stressful time and didn't know who else to turn to. But hair was too long. Didn't talk like you did. The speech was off. Figured something was up, and I said it, and he just disappeared. I assumed some kind of teleportation.
Yeah, if half of him's me and half of him's the Oni, think about how easy he can hop through planes.
Good to know at least half of you is willing to trust me when you're stressed.
He sighs and just he doesn't just look like me, he doesn't just do the things I do, he has thoughts and memories like me. He has he left a letter for the group, and part of it was annoyingly close to some things I would think up.
Really? Maybe I should have heard him out. Maybe he's just confused or something.
Keep him on the line if he comes by next time. But keep your weapon on your side too. I don't know what he's up to,
Ashton,
but he stole that.
do you remember who
ring.
you're speaking to?
Yeah, I know. Just
Who's the one that tied the crossbow to your belt when you forgot it so we went out hunting?
who's the one
Who's
who
the
has
one
that?
who's the one who gave you a dagger to put it by your nightstand when you were sleeping?
Who's the one who has those happy memories of my face on that?
Exactly. Hey, you're a nuisance. Sometimes I just want to shoot you. Maybe he'll get
Hey.
better practice.
Now you have an excuse.
Exactly.
But I don't know what to think of that thing, but it can be good.
Remember what I taught you. When you're not sure, observe.
Okay, so, well, that was mainly why I'm here. I didn't know if you knew or how quick he was moving. And that ring you said before, he nabbed that off us and it can bring back the dead, so keep that in mind too.
Sorry, you said bring back the dead?
Yeah, it requires the material. He'll need a diamond or something, but
So I
And
suppose
it-
it'd be a bad time that he mentioned trying to find your dad? Where he was buried?
Oh fuck!
ask Caius about where his parents were buried too.
Oh no. Oh
Nonsense.
no.
I was
Giants.
taking joy.
Giants, undead, planar magic, and disguises. You guys really make some fucking assholes of enemies.
But
Oh
buried, huh?
no.
He's not just buried, there's no body left. I'm telling you this now. He got funeral rites different than the ones of the land. There's nothing left to revive.
Well, okay, I knew I'd be getting that at some point, but
For another time, you seem like you have a lot on your plate.
yeah, just if I don't bring that up the next time I see you, make sure I do.
Will do. Now,
And
Yep.
if you can, visit where Mom is.
sorry, say again.
Visit where Mom is.
Sorry, it's a little bit quiet. I just can't hear you.
Visit where my mom is. Because he knows as well as I do.
Yeah, he does. I'll head over there, keep watch, just in case there is something going on. Might be a good place to ambush him if I need to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you mentioned a castle.
Yeah, we, like, he's in a dream, but he still, like, wipes his face and just, yeah, we hijacked a flying giant castle. It has talking firebirds on it.
I don't want to know what a firebird is, but Ashton, I've never been prouder than to hear you hijacked a giant castle. When can you bring me on it?
We're heading over to the west from Citadel now. Over to the Goblin armies.
I'm too far north for that. Alright, when you're up north next time, let me know.
We might be stopping by,
Hold on, were you that giant cloud thing that looked like a rock flying?
He like rolls his tongue over his teeth. It's like, yeah, that I'd imagine it looked like that from the bottom.
I look up with a telescope one time. One time. You're
We're
bringing me
not
on that
subtle
next time.
anymore.
Ashton, you were never subtle with me. You're bringing me on that next time.
Yeah, but now the world isn't either. Yeah, you can come on when you like.
Alright.
Hell, if you wanted to make a. If you needed to stow some stuff away there. We've got a somewhat secure setup. We're working on it.
Well, I've got some stuff I can use over there, but no rush for that. Got them on me for a while now.
You don't happen to have any ballistas under your ownership, would you?
No, but I know somebody who can get you one. Why?
Okay, remember that when you come on.
Will do. Go ahead and speak to someone in either Lucerne or Calciolaria.
Kind of like slowly nods, like. He like starts to write down. It's like, wait, this isn't gonna.
Yeah, no, I don't think.
Throws a notepad to the side.
Yeah, I don't even know where you got that from. Alright, anyways. I'm gonna head back to finishing off my sleep and set up 3 more alarms and then go back to sleep.
Alright. Well, good talking to you, and don't die, you old fart. And he just like dreams up a snowball and whips it at the side of his head.
He catches it, dreams up a crossbow bolt and throws it. Says,
And the dream ends.
you hear a quiet later short stack on the way out.
Rosalind is waiting, looking very, very worried. And the instant Ashta blinks awake.
With a small tear going down the side, but he wipes that quickly.
Ashta the hybrid was an anther.
Yeah, it talked to my uncle too.
That must have been where he went. Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm
No.
good.
What happened?
I'm okay. Just
Oh.
you remember what he you know what he stole and what he asked Caius about?
Yes?
He asked my uncle about things. And I know he knows other things. 'Cause he's me. That's it.
Me real quick. Do a thing. Yeah, nope, she kind of... Her hands start to come up and then she pulls back. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. More importantly, he was. What happened in Anther?
Not much. He apparently couldn't control the magic he was using and went there by accident, or so he claimed. Talked to my father, talked to Issa. Issa knew something was wrong and didn't fully trust him, and I'm sure that'll make you happy to know.
Yeah, and my uncle had the same, and
He left a gift for Yenben, though. A toy horse with wings.
his face like scrunches up. Yeah. Maybe if we bring Issa on, just someone have detect magic run on that.
Oh, I can do that easily now. I'll make sure of it. I'm going to contact Issa first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
but I've got one more spell slot for tonight. Is there anybody else we should contact in Cannot with Fame?
He kind of like leans back. I mean,
And I will say around now, Xenia, you would be returning to the room.
Oh, hey. What's wrong?
Oh.
Wait.
uh,
Not sure. What?
Hybrid's been busy.
We've done some dream contact. We know about where he was at a point, but not where he is.
Where was he?
Anther, and meeting with Ashta's uncle.
Oh, great. Xenia's gonna cast something.
Alright, who are you casting sending to?
To Zenric, the wizard dad.
Alright.
you seen Ashta recently? Like, not with us alone? Longer hair?
Kind of sends back.
Doesn't he say this out loud?
Yes.
Cold handshake.
Cold hands.
And it says, nice to see you. Hear from you. No, I haven't. Should I be expecting it? And also, is cold hands a weird way to say cold feet?
Xenia's gonna use a 4th level spell slot to cast Sending.
Ash will like grab Xenia's hands real quick and is like, Rosalind has another dream spell if you want a in-depth conversation.
They're elves, they don't sleep!
It won't work.
He puts the hands back in. Good point.
Cast Sending again. Not really, Ashta. Really just a bastard. I need to talk to Cam.
Put out the word dangerous in there.
He's dangerous
Copy, not Cam.
to everyone.
And stop there. I think
Yeah,
that's 6
that's
more
like-
words.
I have 6 more words. Oh
think so.
fuck. Is Cam still in town?
I'll keep it in mind. Cam left a couple days ago to return to the monastery with the clerics.
The orphans.
I'll keep an eye out. He leaves it there.
Okay. He's gonna cast something again.
Okay.
To Cam.
Alright.
Have you seen Ashta? Long hair, cold handshake. It's not Ashta. He's really dangerous. Love you. I already told Dad. Cool.
I think you just described an undead, and I'm kind of great at killing those. If I find him, I'll keep everyone safe. Don't worry.
Okay. No one in my family has seen it. Sorrel. Fuck. Oh. One more
Sorrel
sentence. I know.
lives-
One more.
lives at home.
One
Okay,
more
just making sure.
sending to Sorrel. Tell the network. There's another Ashta that isn't him. He's dangerous and should not be trusted
Or have crimes attributed to me.
or have crimes attributed to actual Ashta.
Pause. Nope, that was 25.
That was not 25.
I counted this time. Yeah, it is.
I was counting too. I got to like 15.
No, that was 25 at actual.
That's 25. Okay, that was 25. That's it. Okay, I'll do it again. I have more spell slots.
Hold on. He responds first.
Yeah, I know.
He goes, "What the fuck have you gotten yourself into?" Yeah, I'll tell them. Just shoot the cold bastard. Leave it at that.
Sending again. We tried. Not that easy.
He's slippery and can hop through planes.
He's a slippery bastard
That can hop through planes.
that can hop through planes and teleport. He's dangerous. Love you. Bye. Fuck you.
Fuck you too. That's it.
Okay. Xenia gives a thumbs up and just goes, okay.
After Rose of the Richards, now it's like, okay.
By the way, Esther is now in the room.
And,
So,
What
Ash-
just
assume-
happened?
Assuming she's been caught up.
yeah, and Asher turns to see and is like, oh, okay. Other person I needed to talk to. Esther, come over here.
What have I done?
Just sit down next to Rosalind.
Okay.
If this is about the belt given to Rayla, we know that it was a mistake, and it's been rectified.
He gets up and he stands. So when were you gonna tell me where exactly you got this ring?
I'm sorry. She's gonna stand up. I don't like that.
Don't like what?
Either you sit down with us or we are all standing. I don't appreciate being talked down to.
He kind of tilts his head. I thought I was too short to do that. And he just falls back on his butt.
Oh, for God's sake. What ring?
And he holds up the planar ring. This one. The one that my uncle said he saw Bo wearing.
Oh.
Oh.
I'd forgotten.
Fuck.
You'd forgotten?
I'll be
It's
completely
been a
honest. I
while.
kind of did.
And also, I'd just
It has-
woken up from a poison and very quickly collapsed again afterwards from the same.
Okay.
Oh, don't
Okay.
you
And he
dare
points
use
points the finger over at Esther.
No,
What
no,
about
no.
you?
I
Don't
do
use that
remember
as an
giving it to
excuse.
you. I remember at the time now. That's why I forgot afterwards.
Just that could be the reason he found us with Aquarius.
It's most likely not.
I thought for sure that we had that identified and looked at, and the only thing it could do is what we know it's capable of. I'm quite certain
But
of
he's
that.
seen it before. He knows what it is. There's divination magic that you can just know about an object or know about something that's on someone and be able to scry on them easier. I'm not saying it's the end of the world. I'm saying I would have liked to know.
We didn't necessarily wish to tell you at the time, as tensions were high.
So what took so long?
I'll be completely honest with you, I sort of forgot. There were a bit more pressing matters.
I'd say this
At
is
the
a
time
pressing
that-
matter.
Your portal magic was going out of control at the time. This ring at least was able to stabilize you in some sense. I know it belonged to Bo, and I know you're not happy about that. But it did end up stabilizing you at least a little bit more.
No, but you picked a good time for me to find out. Because I spent a year with the bastard. So it's a little less, feels a bit less gross, but anything like that. Is there anything else you think you're forgetting? Anything important about where we got stuff or who gave it to us?
About that, I don't think so, no.
How exactly did you find it? Where was it?
It was inside the cave.
It was on a table. I think there were some other things there, but I can't recall now what they were.
Esther, can you remember?
I'm not exactly sure.
Let me flip
I
through
just
my-
know that the ring was of the most importance.
Can those two roll an intelligence check? Because I know what was there.
I'm flipping through my notebook just in case. I just need to find the. Wait, Ring of Stability. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
I don't remember in this what it is.
I just saw a Ring of Stability to Ashta.
Okay, out of character. Devin, what was there on the table?
It was a note from Bo about the ring.
You're talking about the
was
note.
it?
I
Yeah.
know about the note, but I forget what the note
It was in a box with a bow.
Yeah, I remember the box with the bow. Esther finds the Staff of the Python, and a snaky +1 whip, and a ring with a bow on it for if we kill him. That's what it was.
Yep.
Staff of Python, a snaky +1 whip, neither of which we have ever used, and that ring.
And it was specifically, if you kill me, congratulations. Here's this ring.
There was, I think, a note. We got the staff of the python with it, as well as a whip. But there was a note. It was for if we killed him. It was a reward of some sort.
And we didn't. And you gave me the ring anyways.
And we didn't. And we gave you the ring. Because your portal magic was kind of hectic.
I could have pulled back on it. We had the wand to deal with those repercussions.
Then take it off.
It's not doing much now. Like I said, at this point, there's not really much I would have liked to know. I don't think I forgot is a good reason for you to not have told me up until now, where I found out on my own.
Well, it's the only reason I can honest to God give you, because it is the truth. There were more pressing matters at hand than who the owner of the ring belonged to.
Then maybe write something down next time. I don't know, but we can't. Now more than ever, we can't afford to slip up. Now more than ever, with someone wearing my face going out and asking where my dad's corpse is, we need to know
Whoa,
everything about everything.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what?
Again, we're assuming Esther was updated.
Esther was caught up before this.
Well, where is your dad?
Apparently not in one piece. I got that little drop from my uncle.
Not in one piece, but as in pieces that are able to be put together, or as in...
Cremated, as far as I can tell.
Then he's nothing to be concerned about.
No, but my mom is.
Oh no.
He didn't even need to ask to know that one. And guys, is.
Where is your mother buried?
Hey, Conrad.
1 second while I go back to the map if I remember.
Yep.
I have it as a little DM note somewhere on the map.
Okie dokie.
Is Caius in the room yet, or no?
I would assume so.
Caius, have you come back down or no?
He doesn't go to that room. He finds a place to just away from everybody else.
Alright.
What do you mean Caius' family? They're going after him too now?
We already knew that.
Yes. When he was here amongst you guys, he was asking guys about where his family was buried.
Esther wasn't in the room at that time.
I assumed, again, we assume everyone is
Oh,
caught up on
sorry.
the important info.
Alright, well, he's trying to resurrect your mother, and trying to resurrect Caius' family.
Smooth way to put it, yeah. We don't know that.
There's no other way to put it. Heckity heck! He's going to raise the dead. I don't know how else to put this kindly, Ashta. It's not a good thing.
There's a note on
All
the
right.
map. Ashta's mother is here, and there's a little dot near the shore of the archipelagos. Oh, no, big X.
Oh, gods.
The opposite
Ashta,
direction where we're going.
Ashta,
Yep. And
I know this is a tough question for you, but how long has she been gone?
long enough for me to not have much memory.
There's not going to be much for him to resurrect now, is there?
I don't know
Doesn't have that
everything about...
limit.
Yes, the ring might not care. As long as there's something.
Yes.
Additionally, the
Okay.
wielder can cast the spell Raise Dead with no time limit on how long the body has been dead. Quote
But
from the
will
ring.
the body still be in like the decayed state?
Presumably not. I mean, if it's raised dead.
Skeletons exist for a while.
You would know that the dinosaurs came up as bones, but that was assumedly a misfire of some kind.
Or it could have been the anime dead.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean, because usually it's like, because if it's a skeleton, it's bones. But if you put the ring on, is the corporeal form suddenly gonna just like pop back into existence?
I know it won't return any like limbs, but the spell itself says it closes all the mortal wounds and it cures every like non-magical disease affecting it.
So will it cure
With
rot?
the lack of a time limit, the Raised Dead ring is a bit wonky. You guys wouldn't know.
Mhm.
You can make Arcana checks to make assumptions, but you wouldn't know for sure.
Hey,
I'm gonna
Esther,
make an Arcana check. Yes.
you got any dead family members that you know about, or that you could find out about?
That's a nat 20.
Fair enough. because the ring is specifically necromantic in nature, it's possible that it could give form to flesh, and it could give consciousness back to a body. So it's reasonable to assume that it could remake a body of some similarity to the body when it died. At
Full-on
least
Full
in,
Alchemist, got it.
not Fallen Alchemist. It will have consciousness. It'll have quote unquote a soul, as long as the soul is accessible. Um, yeah.
Okay. Ashta?
Hmm.
Repeat that question.
Do you have any dead family members that he could find out about?
Yes, I do.
Where?
In the desert. Where
Could
do
he
you think?
could he turn them and raise them up?
Rosalind is right now pinging through Thorn to Ash to stop, 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 stop.
If he could find the bones of my child, then yes, maybe he could. I'd commemorate him if he could. Wouldn't that be fantastic? If I didn't have to go through all that mourning for nothing? Wouldn't
Okay,
that be wonderful?
okay, this was the wrong question. I have some information. Sorry, Esther, but it's
I don't know,
gonna be a
Ashta.
stressful time.
Her bones are scattered to the wind. That's kind of what happens in the desert when the
Well,
sand
my
is
mom's is
ever-changing.
in one place, and there's no other way to put it, is there?
No, there isn't.
Then we're done.
That-
Xenia, what do you have?
God,
He
you're a
hasn't.
piece of fucking work.
Esther, please. Ashta, please just. He hasn't hit Lucerne yet. None of my family members have seen him. I asked Sorrel. I asked Sorrel to inform the network. I asked Orzer. Doesn't seem to have hit Lucerne. Hasn't seen Orzer. Orzer's trying to scry for him.
He probably
That's all.
knows Orzer would be too risky.
That. Yeah. I
Chris.
just don't think he's even been to Lucerne yet. Which is why I really do want Orzer's information on maybe where he is.
And about now, he would get back to you.
Oh, Xenia's gonna feel the message and just go, 1 second.
Let me
You
take
basically
this
get
call.
the understanding of tried to scry, didn't work. Either he's resistant to it in some way, or he's just managed to stave off the spell. It happens. But on the upside, if I see him, I will blow his head off and bring it to you.
Xenia's gonna message back. It may not be that easy to do that. We've tried before, but thank you. Okay. He couldn't find him. There's something up, or he just waved off the spell. I think I remember him saying he was pretty wise when he was convincing me for that ring. So
Astra goes, I know non-detection. He knows non-detection.
Non-detection takes diamonds, which he is going to want for
which he's
the ring.
yeah done.
He might not want to waste
Not
them.
not to bark up my own tree or anything, but I think I could get into a safe.
Can't he
He's got
turn?
half a bow with him too.
He can also teleport
Can't
in and out of flames.
I swear you said he could turn
I can
invisible
do that too.
or something. Couldn't Bo turn invisible?
Yes.
Could he turn
Yeah.
invisible?
Yes.
Oh no.
He did immediately when you guys were fighting.
I was passed out.
Yep.
Yes, he
fair.
uses cold magic. He's
I
also able to teleport really fast. Who knows how long he can be in the other planes? Thoroughly, we're kind of fucked.
And he could easily find other people with magic. He could
Mhm.
scry on things. He could find out information.
We
He
have
could,
Yes.
show up to
Because-
the network with his own other disguise of something or other.
But
Start
That
dealing
way.
with them.
people have been informed. That is the best we can do at this current time.
He can put a mask on, but I get your point.
Anybody can put on a mask.
He turns he can give a different name. He could be working with the network. He knows how to get in because he knows what I know.
Yep.
He remembers how we got in the last time, but they regularly change their entrance and the requirements. he's not getting into that location the same way. He'd have to have another contact, and our contact now knows to keep an eye out for him. He
Yeah,
might not have quite as easy a time as you think.
How well can your sibling fight, Xenia?
One of Cam's fair, but he's not in Lucerne. Sorrel's young. He's 74. He's not mature, but I know he has power, but both my fathers are fair fighters.
And he kind of like leans back. And if he took the weaker one hostage, what would the others do?
That's family.
I personally would fight because no one touched one of my siblings. One of my fathers, I'm not sure if he can scry or not, but he knows people who can. My other father's connected to the government. So.
Yeah, Ash kind of tilts his head. Yeah, but you know me, that's clearly not a worry he has.
Yeah, well, to find him, there may be more powerful people willing to help.
As well, Urza is Lucerne.
As well, there is, yeah, Orzor.
Look, we have people on the lookout for him. This castle moves relatively quick. If we get a ping that he's in the area, with any luck, they're able to stall, and maybe we can get there fast enough. Or they can finish him off.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and figure something out, because you said dead relatives, and I'm about to find out. So, I'm gonna meditate for a bit. I'll let you know.
And for all of you, if there's anyone you remember, anyone that whose location could be publicly accessible,
Oh no.
let the group know, because that could be a place we find him.
It's not... Well, it's not publicly accessible, but... If he wanders into the desert, there is somebody who he might find.
Being
It's an offshot, but... If he finds him, it's going to spell very bad news for my family.
Well, he doesn't know of...
speak in specifics.
Exactly. It's nothing.
Then don't
Sorry.
worry too much about anything that Ashta would not have known beforehand, and this individual is unlikely to find out by wearing his face.
Just don't forget about it.
However, I did have the thought that Sir Shen is a possible point of contact. However, not a immediate one, I think.
What's
Also,
Xenia
Ashta?
doing?
The Raven Queen memories.
Xenia's meditating.
We need information right now.
Alright, I'm just wondering, does Ash just see it?
Hey, you
Xenia
saw
starts
them sit down and
meditating.
meditate.
Okay,
I said I was going to do something.
alright. Sorry,
Also,
yes,
Ashta,
he kind of turns.
there is one piece that he could probably manage to find. And she's gonna dig into her pocket, and you see her take out an old scrap of cloth. And she'll just press it to his chest. That's what's left of her. And then she walks off to go speak to the matron.
Should I roll the second one too? Because I'm not going incapacitated for the first.
We'll jump into the other chat in a second. Real quick, let me
Okay.
get Sky's done.
Okay.
So Skies, you head to the matron, or Monarch, what are you going to go ask her?
For meditation.
It is, like, time to long rest, but...
Okay, then
You're free to do so if you
she'll
wish.
she'll probably just ask if she could sleep in the same room as the matron.
The Monarch.
Monarch, sorry.
And yeah, she sleeps where you guys always speak to her. So she says you're welcome to, and basically collects some of the feathers that have fallen off her to make you a small place to rest.
And she'll
They
go
are
to
surprisingly
sleep.
soft.
She'll go to sleep. What do we roll again for dream check?
For you, intelligence check.
If we have no more
Kai's wisdom.
spells, I'm going to try to get some rest. Ashta, please don't stay up worrying. It's not going to fix things.
Ash has just got into his bag and pulled out his book. And just kind of looking at it.
Well, good night, Ashta, Xenia, Caius and Esther, wherever they are. And she just goes and curls up in her bedroll.
Ty, don't we do this in this chat or no?
This.
Does a 16 make it?
Yes.
Yeah, it does. Let's do it in the other chat.
All right.
So how many hours?
9. Although with that, I believe you guys have finished the weeks required to no longer have to sleep for 9 hours.
Yay.
Yeet.
Side note: Ash just puts the piece of blanket on Esther's bed, or bedroll.
If you can find her, she's in the Matrix room, Monarch.
Is she gonna come back? Or?
No, she goes to sleep there.
Alright. I guess I should do Ash's as well. Is it just any like mental check?
It's your spell casting, so wisdom.
Spell casting. Okay.
Yep, wisdom. For you.
Normal wisdom. Nope.
Nope.
Ash is not sleeping well. Believe it or not.
Yep, of course.
I'm so close to getting that proficiency in enchanting.
I've got it now.
Nice!
Yep.
I am 7 hours away.
I said before, I am 80 hours on Dragon Chess. I'm almost there. I can just do some dream training. I was hoping to do it today, but... Actually, you know what? While they're gone, I'm just gonna run the washroom real quick.
Sounds like a good plan. Oh boy.
Don't bring up Esther's kid.
Yeah. No, I was sitting here like, how can Rosalind stop him? And then I remembered Thorn and it was too late. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, that baby blanket is the only thing Esther has left.
Yep. Collect it back off
It's-
Vashta in the morning, after you've cooled down a little.
It's pretty much like only a shred.
Hmm. Still. We are good at arguing ourselves in circles.
Oh, yes, we are. Is there anyone you love who's dead? I don't know. Maybe my child?
Maybe the individual that I have brought up in and out of character multiple times over the campaign?
Don't need to hurt me. I'm already broken.
Wow. Yep.
It's
Yep.
Esther's biggest mood.
Hmm.
But no, the person in the desert who would be very bad news to find would be her father figure.
Okay.
That would be very bad.
Yeah.
Very, very bad.
Well, seeing as we have not had a single glimmer of this from Esther yet, there is no reason for the hybrid to even think about going to the desert.
Thank the God.
At least I assume not, unless there's something Conrad knows that he thinks the hybrid would know that we don't. So,
I'd scream.
Yeah.
I would scream.
my general assumption is he's going to be sticking around up north for the most part, because that's where Ash's mom's buried. That is where, I think Caius's family is, somewhere up north. There is basically nobody he can pick up from, like, Rosalind family in Anther. Oh, I cannot hear you speaking, Devin, if you're saying anything. Can anybody speak? If not, I'm jumping off and... Nope. Okay. Test.
Wait, what do you mean Mom's dead?
Hello?
Hello.
Alright.
Xenia Taliesin gets out of meditation, says Mom's dead, and goes.
Yeah, that's a very cryptic thing we're gonna have to get an answer for later. Unfortunately, I think most of us are actually asleep and out of the room, so Xenia spoke to
Yep.
empty air.
Mm-hmm. Ashton might be not quite sleeping yet.
So you get a terrifyingly
nice.
cryptic set of words in the middle of the night. And then no response again. D&D, all happy things.
Be ready, Sky 2, because Ashes has just a few things to say to Esther the next morning.
Hello.
My mom's dead.
But
Hi guys, my mom's dead.
So, the second roll was something that both Xenia and Ashta would get to see here. Because Ashta, as you go to sleep, your perspective changes. But not just your vision, as well it's your entire awareness and perception of every sense you have. You can feel rain on your back, you can feel a hood wet soaking on the back of your neck, your hair is drooping into your face. And your hands are digging into this mud and just like slowly pulling it aside across. And Xenia, you can see this from basically a bird's perspective
Okay,
in a tree nearby.
Doing circles again.
And Ashta, you're just digging and digging, and eventually you come across a skull.
Oh no.
You don't consciously know what this is, but you can assume within reason what you'd like to assume. And you feel tears start to come down your cheeks, and yourself hugging the skull, and your own voice, slightly distorted, whispering, just, who are you? What am I? Did you make me? And your vision snaps back as you wake up, and Xenia, the vision ends there.
Esther like shoots up like hyperventilating with sweat on the face.
And it is the morning.
Okay. Okay.
He looks over to Xenia.
Why are you looking? Oh, did you see that? And Xenia like makes the skull motion of to be or not to be, but Shakespeare doesn't exist.
Esther
Sure.
like stifles of a gag.
Oh, do you need something? Do you want me to get you something?
I got a nice first-person perspective of it, yeah.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, Rosalind,
You want-
you wake up hearing this.
Should I go
What the
make
fuck?
you some breakfast?
What? What's going on?
What was that? Do you know where that was?
What was that?
Nope.
I'm gonna-
I have a guess though.
Oh no.
I have a real good
Oh.
fucking guess.
What happened? I just... Did something happen in the night?
Is
Is
it her?
everything okay?
Is it her? Oh.
Don't know, but it sounded like me, and it wasn't. That was a lot of sentimentality to put to a skull.
Ash... what?
What?
Can I... Is
Oh,
there
I-
any way to insight check this and figure out what's going on or anything?
Go for it.
It's weird, but nope.
Okay,
It's...
I looked through some memories and we got the same one.
What memory?
His.
Was what?
The topic of conversation last night.
We covered many topics. What part?
Fucking
He looks over to Esther. The part where my mom's corpse sits in the north, fully aware of that fact, fully aware to the hybrid.
Oh gods. Oh no.
Did he find her?
Oh no.
so
I got a nice first-person perspective of hands digging into the mud until eventually finding some sort of corpse, and my own voice ringing in my own ears, asking what the hell I am.
Xenia, can you send a message to Orion and tell him
Yeah.
it might be too late?
Contact him now.
about what? What?
Tell him that the hybrid might have found what he was looking for.
Oh, sending to Orion. Why is it giving me spell level? I'm not casting this at 5th level. I don't know what it's doing.
Hit long rest first.
I did.
Okay.
The hybrid found the corpse. We think. Oh fuck. Any suggestions?
You get the message back of, yeah, I found last night. I'm tracking him right now. Should be able to find him in the next day or two as long as his master doesn't teleport. Seems like he brought most of the bones with him. I'll keep you updated.
Orion's tracking him. Should he be tracking him alone?
If anyone can. And
Okay.
you're not going to convince him to go with anyone, and he works well alone, and he's specialized in killing giants.
What about the
That's
body?
good.
Did he take Did he take Astra's mom?
I'm just sending again, cause
Orion
He-
Orion just said that he took them.
Yeah.
I'm asking if Xenia relayed this, that's all.
Yeah.
oh, he
that's,
took the bones with him. I didn't hear that part.
yeah.
What's
That's
that?
what I was waiting for.
Thank you. I didn't hear that part.
Oh no.
And as she whips around, it's like, oh, Esther, you're back. Here, you left this, and he hands over the blue.
Keep going.
Look, I have this going on right now. Rosalind doesn't even know what she lost, and Caius knows full well what he lost. But I'm not going to stand here and have you pretend like yours is worth more, or is worth more tact in conversation than mine. Okay?
Esther starts to laugh. Do you really think that's what this is about?
I asked about it. You seem not happy about it.
We've all lost people, Ashta. You have lost many. Caius has lost the most. Probably, considering.
You see a twitch on his face. The most.
What I meant. Caius has lost many. You have lost many. Everybody has lost many. That is how life goes. Life is cruel and it sucks. And people die and it's horrible. My loss is worth nothing in comparison to yours.
You see, this is where it's not working out here, because it's not. It's worth just as much. Your hardships that you go through are worth any more or less than me, or mine. Doesn't matter what they are.
Asta, you had more to lose. You had memories and time. I did not. I understand the value of your loss. Never think for a second I undermine it in comparison to mine.
Then don't undermine your own either.
Just because my daughter's bones are scattered to the four corners, yours are in one place. That takes precedence, because that is a real threat. Mine he won't be able to find. We need to stop him from doing things to yours.
I'm not sure we can. Don't we
I don't
have
think we can either.
don't we have to go to the Plains of Wrath? We've got
We do.
Zodiac to face. Caius has a duty.
Yep. You're right.
Orion will do his best. And that is all we can hope for. He's skilled, like you said. And we have to put our faith in him for this.
All we can do is try to handle what we can as quickly as we can and as well, and move on to the next.
I'm sorry if I undermined your loss. That is not what I meant to do.
The blow-up last night made it feel like something else. If you say it's different, then fine. But you certainly didn't bring it across like that,
I didn't mean to.
and you shouldn't undermine your own either. Mine's not more or less than Caius or Rosalind or you. They're all the same. They're all pain. But you gotta pick how much tact in a conversation is worth to one or another. You can't swap. You
understand.
can't bring up my mom's bones and then throw a blanket at me when I bring up yours. That's all.
I don't know what else you want me to call them, Ashta.
It's not about what's calling them.
It's what he'd use. And I'm sorry. I don't mean to put it in such frank terms.
You did.
Well, I didn't mean to. And you know full well how my child is taken care of. I'm fire. What do you think we do to Bones?
Like turns his head. I'm not gonna go far enough to assume many of them.
She's with the desert now. And that's so that, just as your mother was with the earth. Unfortunately, that twisted prick has snatched her from it. And that's not okay. It's not. It's so fucked up I can't even begin to describe. And I am sorry I put it in frank terms. I'm not used to putting niceties towards facts of life. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to describe things other than for what they are. And I apologize if the words that I used hurt you. But you said some pretty deep things the other night that cut. And the reason why I gave you that shred of cloth is because it is the only thing I have left. You have a grave, somewhere where you can go. I do not. That is all I have.
Then perhaps don't throw it at somebody else. Now, please, can we let this go? Let's make some breakfast. Let's get with the day. Let's get started on what we need to do, please.
I'll start cooking a little bit. Zinni will just get
I'll
up and
help
leave the
you.
room.
I can at least prep.
Are we intending to head over and start moving towards the goblin armies today?
I believe so.
No. Just, might I say one last thing, please? Before this conversation is dropped.
Rosalind is already out the room with Xenia to find about breakfast stuff.
Asha looks over.
It's rather interesting how no matter the argument, no matter the fight, no matter if both sides have done equal damage, you don't apologize, do you? And with that, she'll go talk to the monarch, fuck.
So, first I have to ask real quick, Rosalind.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you didn't tell the castle to start flying the night, or?
No. We
Okay.
were gonna leave in the morning. We were giving everybody time to be in Citadel and take care of things. At least
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Alright. So,
maybe in the morning, just like break of the morning, we can send like one runner to be like, hey, if you're in Citadel on shore leave, last.
Yeah, last
I
call.
will say your soldiers are assuming they are just already back, just for the sake of ease.
Yeah, and just as a final precaution.
We're good.
Um,
Before we
when you
head
guys
out,
do wake up, real quick, Rosalind,
yes.
because you were the first to head out, you and Xenia get asked, basically that like, yeah, all the families basically took a room each for each family. Um, will they be staying in the castle until further notice, or is there somewhere else you want?
In the castle until further notice, we need to get reports back from the scouts who are investigating the village to see if it's suitable to be moved into and constructed. And in time, those rooms are going to be portioned off into basically apartments and made into multi-floor living spaces. But first, we need to ascertain how to go about that. So that is fine for now.
All right. Kais, what are you up to the whole night?
Caius finds like a room to have in private, and before going to bed, pulls something deep from his backpack, and it's an old luchador's mask, and he just sort of stares at it before dozing off to bed.
All right. In the morning, you're found by, assumably, one of the party and brought up to speed.
Ashta.
Yeah,
He
probably
is.
Ashta.
Ashta's taking the role of there's someone not here. I'm gonna go find them.
Yeah. You are brought up to speed, told where you're going. I would recommend between now and next session, plan how you're going to speak to the goblinoids. But that's for later.
Real quick, just as he goes and finds Kai. Ashel is Kais asleep when Ashta finds him?
No, he's
Probably.
awake.
Well, you were up late, so you would have to take extra time to sleep.
Alright.
Yeah.
Then he might just like walk over. Okay, wait. So is Kais asleep?
Yes. Holding a luchador's mask.
Yeah, just sort of like asleep against like a wall, not looking at bed.
He's just gonna lightly step over.
Kais, what's your passive perception?
I think it's higher than 13.
Passive perception. Give me a second.
What's your
Gotta find that
perception
again.
modifier?
+3.
Okay, so passive perception when you're asleep is 8, so yeah, Ashta, you're good.
Alright. Yep. And he'll just walk over, kind of see it, and just like tap him on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Flick him on the nose.
Hey,
What are you doing out here?
it's complicated.
Yeah, well, he like grabs him by like the collar of his shirt and like pulls him up. Breakfast isn't complicated. Let's go.
Yeah, sounds good.
What's that? Points to the mask.
Memories from a past life.
Seems to be a running theme. You wanna bring it up or?
No, it's not something I enjoy bringing up.
All right.
And he puts it away.
Kevin, like Ash will just like wait a minute or something, but as they're like walking towards breakfast, it's like, hey, do I not apologize?
No.
He's talking to Kai specifically.
Oh.
Like as they're on their way.
You're strong in your convictions, and you don't feel a justification for apologies. More often than not.
And he get like scratches the back of his head and it's like, but like it all?
If there's good reason, but you're not really one to. No.
It's kind of like, I mean, I thought I did more, but I guess I was just kind of. Me and my uncle used to imply apologies a lot. I don't know, but Esther brought it up, and I was just. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Bacon.
Rayla kind of like
Ah,
crawls up the neck of the suit of armor and goes, I mean, you say you're sorry, but you always say it like you're angry.
Gil looks down and is like, yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference between saying sorry and apologizing.
He kind of like pauses and is like, okay. In what manner?
One is heartfelt, one is like you're grabbing someone by the throat. Saying you're sorry doesn't imply that you're, well, it implies you're sorry, but it's also just a word unless you put meaning behind it.
Can there be meaning behind it without the word?
Yes, when you say like a genuine, I feel bad, rather than I'm sorry, but
And he's like, do I not do that sometimes?
you used to a lot when you were drunk. To apologize for drinking too much, apologize for being alive, apologize for not dying sooner,
Yeah,
apologize
yeah, I get it.
Those were heartfelt, it was because you felt bad about it. When you say, I'm sorry, but, it's like you're angry about it, and you're blaming them for it.
Okay. And he just kind of like jams the fairy back down.
He goes, send me some bacon!
He pauses and is like, okay, fine. He just pulls her out and throws her into the air.
Yep. She flutters around and says, you get really sweaty in there, you know. You ever heard of magical deodorant? And she flies off.
Oh!
As she flies off, he's like, no.
it's a thing.
He looks over, guys. I mean, I know there's like alchemy people, but
Yeah, and they can do a fair amount with odor.
he like tilts his head. And is like, learning a lot today. Not all of it I
Yeah.
like. So we're
No.
like,
Eventually you find Rayla sitting, sitting on top of Xenia's knee, just waiting for dinner to be ready, breakfast to be ready.
does she have like a tiny fork and knife that she's pounding on the table?
No, she has a tiny rapier.
Uh,
Aw.
It's like a
Are you
toothpick.
sure you want to eat with? Are you sure you want to eat with the sword?
Hold on, before we go any further, roll a cooking check.
Yay!
Rosalind is helping. She's not proficient, but she's helping.
Guys,
You'll get a bonus.
Fuck.
before
Yeah.
16.
60.
If Roslyn helping, it's a decent meal. What are you cooking?
Let's do some pancakes. It's a feel-good day. We're gonna do some fluffy pancakes for everyone.
Alright. You say, as the pancakes are being made, and you make, there's like a tiny splatter that was batter that's like left on the side. She goes, mine! Stabs it out, eats it happily.
That's what that was for, alright.
Mouthful of, nope. Too much salt.
Oh, not again.
It's okay, it's delicious and fluffy.
Appreciated. I'm gonna cut up some fruit to tie down the salt.
Rosalind is already doing. I was gonna say Rosalind's found fruit if possible, just to put on top.
Oh,
It's a
Rosalind,
solid
you're
meal.
blessing.
I should request one without.
I like having fruit with breakfast.
They're in a separate bowl. You don't have to put. It's not on top. It's
Yeah.
just in a separate bowl. You good?
Add your own
Any of the fancy fruit, or just like normal fruit?
berries.
Normal. Whatever
Blueberries,
Rosalind
apples.
picks, honestly.
Yeah.
What are mountain fruits?
Mountain fruits? There's a few.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's preserved.
Is there
Mainly?
one of the? Are there the fucked up Citadel fruits there?
Oh no.
Oh yeah, there's a fucking massive amount of them. That's where you got most of your food from.
Apparently, raspberries, strawberries, and blueberries grow on mountains.
Yep, as well as cocoa beans.
Rosehip, um,
Ask for tea.
Yep, but there's
Um,
probably tea then.
And again, it's a lot of it is the Citadel food, the stuff from underneath.
Mhm.
But yeah, in the same like room, you can see a lot of the families are together, kind of joking around. You actually see a lot of Ash's squad not wearing their armor, carrying their shields, just for once, just relaxing around small fires, making dinner or breakfast. I mean, there's children running about. It's small, but it's people seem generally pretty happy and in good spirits. You don't
It's
see
like a happy airport.
Yeah, you don't see a single one of Rosalind's squad except for when they run by holding a bag full of random direction.
Sometimes it's on fire.
So far, it is yet to be on fire. You
Hmm.
do see one gnome in the distance. It's up to you
I'm gonna
guys if you
say,
want
do
to go
we
on to
see
it.
the gnome?
You do. However, Esther, we're gonna go to your meditating now. I wasn't ignoring you. I just want to get one place first.
No worries.
So as you go to the Monarch to meditate, you actually see a couple of your squad doing the same thing. Kind of just sitting there peacefully. One of them has incense burning in a small censer to hold it.
You're teaching the others?
Then she looks up and says, "Oh, I asked them not to meditate inside of the religious area downstairs, mainly because I was worried about what they might see. So I invited them up here. It seems my presence helps with opening the mind."
You are very calming to be around.
Must come
I
with
could use a bit
my
of help.
abilities. Let your worries pass like clouds. We fly for a reason here.
And she'll just sit down, cross-legged, and
And you can meditate as long as you'd like. Mark down how many hours you're going to use.
how long until like breakfast is ready? Like an hour or so?
Yeah, probably about an hour.
Okay, she'll just go for an hour. So what do I put this as?
Just meditation. It's not for necessarily a skill, but I would like to know the how long you do it for.
Okay, and then she'll head to breakfast and just kind of walk in quietly and sit down.
All right. With the group or with one of the squads?
The group.
All right.
Just like a real quick, just there's a light like silence from Asha before he just like looks over at Esther and is like, sir.
Yeah.
There's like 5 emotions that go across his face and half his thing. It's like, I'm sorry.
Is that a question or a statement?
I'm working this thing out.
You hear
Alright.
Ray with a mouthful of food say, "He's emotionally stunted. Go easy on him."
There's a blueberry that gets flicked in her direction.
I kind of figured that out, Rayla. But it's appreciated. Thanks.
He's kind of like slowly and awkwardly nods.
Rayla is happily eating her blueberry.
You
Did
just
it hit
yes
her?
or-
It landed close to her. She is invisible right now.
Like, hold on.
Alright.
Okay, come on.
Thought I hit her.
At one point, you see a pancake disappearing. There's this blue juice or red juice just floating for a little bit before she wipes it off. And Rosalind, your dream to Issa, relatively short. She's obviously happy to see you. Goes on about Yenben for about 5 or 10 minutes, just excited.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do extend the offer, she does say like, the moment you stop by, I will happily jump on.
Okay.
Seems she's missed you.
When she comes out of it, she'll just basically tell the rest of the group. No need for playing it out. You know what's said.
I assume the warning about Astra goes out.
Oh yeah.
Real
And
quick.
no new knowledge. She kind of just says like, yeah, it just didn't seem right.
Mm-hmm.
What about the gnome?
The gnome is a roughly, like, looks about the age of like a 13, 14-year-old.
Oh God.
About.
I mean, like, once, the walking lady of fire walks in, does it perhaps...
Doesn't seem to take much notice of you.
That's just
Okay,
keeping like
alright, I'm
one
gonna
eye
talk
on
to
that
the gnome.
area at all times as well.
She seems to be very excitedly, like, kind of hyperactive. Always talking, even with food in her mouth, and never seems to be doing less than two things. Like, has a book open, and while talking and reading at the same time. It seems like Rosalind. At one point, the mum is there, and she speaks briefly to it before heading down to go back, and the gnome remains with older-looking dwarf, like mid to late 40s, roughly. Beginnings of gray in his beard. Kind of just, he's happily eating his breakfast, making food for her, and just handing it to her while she eats it and continues talking.
Okay.
Esther's just kind of glancing around. She's looking at the families, and you can kind of see a little bit that she's sad in a way, but not much else.
Wistful, maybe.
Yeah.
And there are good vibes all around from the rest of the families. It seems every once in a while there's like a slight scolding parent to child, or from parent to parent, but otherwise it's big communal breakfast. And with that, I think we'll end the session there.
Okay.
Lit.
We've got about a 3-hour flight
Oh,
to Canal,
just-
right?
Let me measure.
I
Long
mentioned
way.
earlier if it's
Can
90
I get a small
miles
thing
an
in
hour.
at the end too? Could Astra have basically just while breakfast is going on, maybe find a few of his squad, and just like tap one on the shoulder and be like, there's the old armory-looking thing downstairs. I'm guessing you guys have already gone through it a bit.
We've began it. A lot of us are armor smiths. A lot of good metal there. We're gonna use it probably for something.
Do you guys want to set that place up as like a proper like armory?
Just say the word, Chief.
All right. Could you put a forge in there, or does there need to be like ventilation?
We could figure something out. We're dwarves.
Yeah, I figured he like looks down like the whole like I assume it's like a cafeteria style where there's like tables beside tables beside tables.
No, there's no tables. It's just people making small fires on a stone floor, sitting around with each other.
All right, well, he looks over the area, whatever, and he's like, yeah, there's a lot of doors here. I'm sure digging a hole isn't out of the question. Just any construction things you clear with the big bird lady.
Yeah, will do. Trust me, we know she can roast us if she wanted to.
Also,
Clear with big bird.
Also, maybe ask her once the smiths start going. Ask her if things with the Firebird's fire can do anything with forging weapons. I don't know, but I figure that's not really my area of expertise either.
Hey, I mean, it's worth an ask. Can't really talk with any but the big one, but we'll see what we can do.
She can translate, and if you really need to, you can ask Lady Rosalind and her little dragon can help out.
Alright. I think someone here has a cousin who is an air genasi. Maybe they can speak bird. Wanders off.
Yeah, like tilts his head and is like, is that how that works? I don't think that's how that works.
Aran is a language. It's one of the primordial languages that most air-based things can speak.
Okay, but do the birds speak Oran?
No, but they don't know this.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
But you don't know that.
I'm just saying, like, not all air genasis can just immediately have a conversation with a finch.
Don't be heiress.
Don't be breezest.
Okay.
Leave it there.
Alright. I will stop recording unless somebody else really needs to bring something up.
I think we're good.
Alright.
Esther's just happy she got an apology, man.
Alright, we'll save that for afterwards. Later.
Alright. See
Yeah.
y'all.